Today, we journey into the cosmic horror of Yharnam to explore one of Bloodborne's most profound mysteries, the true purpose of the Great Ones. Over the next couple hours, we'll uncover the hidden motivations behind these eldritch beings, their tragic cycles of loss and yearning, and how humanity becomes both their salvation and their downfall. So settle in, get comfortable, and let's begin this epic adventure into the nightmare that awaits us all. Chapter 1. The nature of cosmic horror. In the shadowed streets of Yharnam, beneath the cobblestones stained with old blood and the Gothic spires that pierce the crimson sky, there exists a truth so profound and terrifying that to comprehend it fully would drive most minds to madness. This truth concerns beings of such immense power and alien intelligence that they exist beyond our understanding of reality itself. These are the Great Ones, and their purpose in the world of Bloodborne is far more complex, tragic, and horrifying than most hunters ever realize. To understand the Great Ones' true purpose, we must first understand what they are. The Great Ones are multidimensional beings that transcend the physical limitations of our world. They exist across several planes of existence simultaneously, operating on what the choir calls transcendental planes of thought. Unlike mortal beings trapped within the confines of linear time and three-dimensional space, the Great Ones perceive reality in ways that human consciousness simply cannot process. Yet for all their cosmic power, the Great Ones are not the distant, uncaring deities one might expect from beings of such magnitude. They are described as sympathetic in spirit, though this sympathy manifests in ways that often bring more harm than help to humanity. This sympathetic nature is perhaps the most crucial aspect of understanding their true purpose, for it reveals that the Great Ones are not malevolent entities seeking to destroy humanity for sport. Rather, they are beings driven by profound loss and an all-consuming desire to fill the void left by their greatest tragedy. The fundamental truth about the Great Ones is revealed through the recurring text found on multiple third umbilical cords. Every Great One loses its child and then yearns for a surrogate. This simple statement contains within it the key to understanding everything that happens in Bloodborne: the scourge of beasts, the corruption of the healing church, the nightmare realms that trap souls in eternal torment, the very existence of hunters themselves. All of it stems from this cosmic tragedy. But what does it mean for a Great One to lose its child? And why do they turn to humanity as surrogates? The answers to these questions reveal a purpose so alien, yet so fundamentally understandable, that it bridges the gap between cosmic horror and tragic human drama. The Great Ones exist in a state of perpetual mourning. Their immense power and transcendent nature comes with a terrible cost: the inability to successfully reproduce. The more advanced and powerful a being becomes, the fewer offspring it can produce, and the Great Ones represent the ultimate expression of this cosmic law. They have transcended to such heights of existence that they can no longer create viable children of their own kind. This is not a mere biological limitation, but a fundamental law of their existence. The Great Ones have moved so far beyond mortal concerns that they exist partially outside the normal flow of time and causality. In gaining their cosmic perspective and multidimensional existence, they have lost something essentially mortal and essential for creating new life: the ability to be fully present in a single moment, a single plane of existence, long enough for new life to take root and flourish. The children of Great Ones, when they do manifest, are invariably stillborn or lost shortly after their creation. We see this pattern repeated throughout Bloodborne. Murgo, the child of Oedon and Queen Yharnam, exists only as a crying voice in the nightmare, formless and forever trapped in an infantile state. The orphan of Kos emerges from its mother's corpse, only to exist as a manifestation of rage and despair. Even the attempts by humans to create artificial Great Ones result in failure. The one reborn collapses under its own weight. the living failures are exactly what their name suggests. This cosmic infertility drives the Great Ones to seek what they cannot create themselves, surrogate children from among the mortal races. But their attempts to find and nurture these surrogates are complicated by their alien nature. The Great Ones cannot simply adopt human children in any conventional sense. Their very presence warps reality around them, and their attempts at contact with mortals often result in madness, transformation, or death. Chapter 2. The mechanism of surrogate creation. Understanding how the Great Ones attempt to create surrogate children reveals the true scope of their influence on the world of Bloodborne. The process is neither simple nor straightforward, requiring a complex interplay of cosmic forces, human ambition, and tragedy that spans generations. The most direct method employed by the Great Ones is the creation of nightmare realms, alternate planes of existence that they can shape according to their will. These nightmares serve multiple purposes in their quest for surrogate children. First, they provide a space where the Great Ones can exist more fully than in the physical world, allowing them greater control over their environment and the beings within it. Second, they serve as testing grounds where potential surrogates can be evaluated and shaped. Finally, they act as nurseries where surrogate children can be protected and nurtured according to the Great One's alien understanding of care. The Hunter's Dream, created by the Moon Presence, represents perhaps the most successful example of this strategy. Through Yharnam, the Moon Presence establishes a cycle whereby hunters are bound to the dream, living and dying repeatedly in service to their cosmic patron. Each hunter who enters the dream becomes, in a sense, a potential surrogate child. They are protected from true death, guided by a parental figure in Yharnam, and given purpose through their endless hunt. But the Moon Presence's ultimate goal is not simply to collect hunters indefinitely. It seeks a specific type of surrogate, one who can transcend humanity while retaining enough of their mortal nature to fill the void left by its lost child. This is why the Moon Presence orchestrates the complex events of the game, manipulating circumstances to create a hunter capable of defeating other Great Ones, and ultimately confronting the Moon Presence itself. The process requires the hunter to consume 3/3 umbilical cords, each representing a failed attempt by a Great One to create or nurture a child. These cords grant the hunter eyes on the inside, the cosmic perspective necessary to perceive and interact with Great Ones on their own level. In consuming these symbols of cosmic loss, the hunter takes on the accumulated grief and yearning of multiple Great Ones, transforming them into something that can bridge the gap between mortal and cosmic existence. When such a transformed hunter defeats the Moon Presence, they undergo a final metamorphosis, becoming an infant Great One themselves. The doll, who serves as a surrogate maternal figure throughout the hunter's journey, cradles this newborn cosmic being, finally giving the Moon Presence the surrogate child it has sought for so long. The hunter's mortal memories and experiences become the foundation for a new Great One's consciousness, creating a being that combines cosmic power with mortal understanding. This process reveals the true tragedy of the Great One's existence. They can only create surrogate children by destroying what makes those children appealing to them in the first place. The hunter's humanity, their struggles, their growth, their very mortality. These are what make them suitable as surrogate children. But the transformation into a Great One necessarily strips away much of what made them human, leaving the Great One with a child who is fundamentally changed from what they originally sought to preserve. Oedon, the formless Great One, attempts a different approach to surrogate creation. Lacking physical form, Oedon exists only in voice and consciousness, but this very limitation allows for a unique method of reproduction. Oedon impregnates mortal women through their blood, creating hybrid offspring that carry both mortal and cosmic elements. We see this process at work with several characters throughout the game. Ariana, whose special blood marks her as suitable for Oedon's attention, becomes pregnant after the blood moon rises, giving birth to a pale, tentacled creature that dies if separated from its mother. The false Yosefka undergoes a similar transformation, becoming pregnant with what appears to be another of Oedon's attempted surrogates. These pregnancies reveal the complexity of Oedon's strategy. By working through mortal wombs, Oedon attempts to create beings that can exist in both mortal and cosmic realms. The resulting offspring are not quite human, but not fully cosmic either. They represent Oedon's attempt to bridge the gap between these two states of existence. However, these experiments consistently fail to produce viable long-term surrogates. The hybrid children are fragile, often dying shortly after birth or requiring constant connection to their mortal mothers to survive. They represent incomplete attempts at creating the perfect fusion of mortal and cosmic consciousness that Oedon seeks. The most successful of Oedon's children appears to be Mergo, born from Queen Yharnam herself. Mergo's status as the child of both a Great One and the Thumerian Queen, a being already touched by cosmic forces, allows for a more stable existence. Yet even Mergo exists only as a disembodied voice, trapped in the nightmare of Mensis and requiring protection from Mergo's wet nurse. The school of Mensis's ritual to contact Mergo ultimately leads to the stillbirth of their minds, suggesting that even this most successful surrogate child represents a form of cosmic tragedy. Mergo's very existence may be slowly draining the life and sanity from those who attempt to commune with it, revealing the inherent danger in the Great One's quest for surrogate children. Chapter 3. The Byrgenwerth Revelation. The true purpose of the Great Ones cannot be understood without examining humanity's first contact with these cosmic beings at Byrgenwerth. The scholars of this prestigious institution, led by Provost Willem and later Lawrence, stumbled upon the truth of the Great One's existence while exploring the ancient Thumerian ruins beneath Yharnam. What they discovered there would set in motion the events that would ultimately consume their city and transform their world. In the deepest chambers of the Thumerian labyrinths, the Byrgenwerth scholars encountered Ebrietas, daughter of the cosmos. Unlike the other Great Ones, who exist primarily in nightmare realms or as formless entities, Ebrietas had remained in the physical world, trapped and seemingly abandoned by her cosmic kin. The scholars' discovery of this left-behind Great One provided them with their first opportunity to study a cosmic being directly. Ebrietas represented a unique opportunity for both species. For the scholars, she was a living connection to cosmic truth, a being whose very existence proved that reality extended far beyond human understanding. For Ebrietas, the scholars represented potential surrogate children, mortal beings who might fill the void left by her cosmic isolation and lost offspring. The relationship that developed between Ebrietas and the Byrgenwerth scholars reveals much about the Great One's true purpose. Ebrietas did not simply share her knowledge out of benevolence or curiosity. Her cooperation with the scholars represents a desperate attempt to create the surrogate children she, like all Great Ones, yearned for. By sharing cosmic truths and empowering the scholars with otherworldly knowledge, Ebrietas was attempting to transform them into beings more suitable to serve as her surrogate offspring. This process, however, was deeply flawed from the beginning. The cosmic truths that Ebrietas shared were not meant for human minds. The revelation of the Great One's existence and their alien perspective on reality proved too much for most scholars to bear. Some went mad immediately, their minds shattered by exposure to truths beyond human comprehension. Others transformed into kin, beings that had gained cosmic insight at the cost of their humanity. The creation of kin represents one of the Great One's failed strategies for surrogate creation. By granting humans cosmic knowledge and perspective, The Great Ones hoped to elevate them to a state where they could serve as suitable children. However, the transformation into kin strips away the very humanity that made these beings appealing as surrogates in the first place. Rom, the vacuous spider, serves as the most prominent example of this failed strategy. Once a scholar at Byrgenwerth, Rom was granted eyes by Kos and transformed into a cosmic guardian. In her new form, Rom serves an important function. She maintains the barrier that prevents ordinary humans from perceiving the true horror of their situation, hiding the lesser amygdalae and other cosmic entities that lurk in plain sight throughout Yharnam. But Rom's transformation represents both a success and a failure for the Great One's purposes. While she has gained cosmic awareness and power, she has lost her human consciousness and ability to grow or develop. She exists in a state of eternal vigilance, protecting humanity from cosmic truth, but no longer capable of the dynamic growth and change that would make her a suitable surrogate child. The split between Willem and Lawrence at Byrgenwerth represents two different responses to the revelation of the Great One's true purpose. Willem, recognizing the danger inherent in the Great One's quest for surrogate children, sought to elevate humanity through insight rather than blood. His famous declaration, "We are thinking on the basis of planes. What we need are more eyes," reflects his belief that humans must transcend their limitations to avoid becoming mere pawns in the Great One's cosmic game. Willem's path ultimately leads to his own transformation into something more than human, but less than a Great One. Sitting forever at the edge of Byrgenwerth's lake, surrounded by the kin he helped create, Willem represents the logical endpoint of his philosophy. He has gained the cosmic perspective he sought, but at the cost of his ability to act meaningfully in the world. Lawrence, on the other hand, believed that the old blood offered a more direct path to transcendence. His establishment of the healing church and the practice of blood ministration represents an attempt to use the Great One's power for humanity's benefit. However, Lawrence failed to understand the true purpose behind the Great One's offer of power. The old blood is not simply a gift from the Great Ones to humanity. It is a tool in their quest for surrogate children, a means of transforming humans into beings more suitable for their cosmic purposes. The healing properties of the blood serve as bait, drawing humans into a transformation process that ultimately serves the Great One's needs rather than humanity's. The scourge of beasts that eventually consumes Yharnam represents the failure of Lawrence's approach. The old blood does not elevate humans to a higher state of existence. Instead, it transforms them into creatures that reflect the Great One's alien nature. The beasts that prowl Yharnam's streets are not random mutations, but reflections of humanity filtered through cosmic consciousness. They represent humanity as the Great Ones see it: base, violent, and in need of guidance from higher powers. Chapter 4. The Blood Moon and Cosmic Pregnancy. The phenomenon of the blood moon represents one of the most crucial aspects of the Great One's true purpose, serving as a catalyst for their most direct attempts at creating surrogate children. When the red moon hangs low in the sky, the barriers between the mortal world and the cosmic realms weaken, allowing the Great Ones to exert their influence more directly than ever before. The lore note found in Byrgenwerth provides the key to understanding this phenomenon. When the red moon hangs low, the line between man and beast is blurred, and when the Great Ones descend, a womb will be blessed with child. This blessing is not the benevolent gift it might first appear to be, but rather represents the Great One's most desperate and direct attempt to create the surrogate children they so desperately desire. The appearance of the blood moon is triggered by specific cosmic alignments and ritual actions. In the events of Bloodborne, Rom's death serves as the catalyst that allows the blood moon to manifest. Rom's role as the guardian of human ignorance means that her destruction removes the final barrier, preventing humanity from perceiving the full horror of their situation. With this barrier gone, the Great Ones can manifest more directly in the mortal world. The blood moon's influence extends far beyond mere visibility of cosmic horrors. Its light carries with it the essence of the Great Ones themselves, particularly Oedon, whose formless nature allows him to exist within light and sound as easily as within blood and flesh. When the blood moon rises, Oedon's presence saturates the very air of Yharnam, seeking out suitable vessels for his reproductive attempts. The selection of vessels for cosmic pregnancy is not random. The Great Ones demonstrate a clear preference for women who already possess some connection to cosmic forces or whose blood contains special properties. Ariana's status as a descendant of the Cainhurst bloodline marks her as particularly suitable, as the Vile Bloods have long been associated with forbidden blood practices and cosmic knowledge. The false Yosefka's pregnancy reveals another aspect of the Great One's selection criteria. Her transformation into a kin prior to her pregnancy suggests that beings who have already undergone partial cosmic transformation may be more suitable vessels for Great One offspring. The combination of mortal biology with cosmic awareness creates conditions more conducive to successful reproduction. The pregnancies that occur under the blood moon are characterized by their supernatural speed and the profound changes they bring to the mothers. Ariana's pregnancy progresses from conception to birth within a matter of hours or days, suggesting that cosmic reproduction operates according to different temporal rules than mortal biology. The mothers experience not just physical changes, but psychological ones as well, often becoming withdrawn, frightened, or displaying signs of cosmic awareness. The offspring produced by these cosmic pregnancies represent the Great One's most direct attempts at creating surrogate children. However, these children consistently fail to meet their cosmic parents' expectations. Ariana's child, while clearly bearing Oedon's influence, remains fundamentally fragile and dependent on its mortal mother for survival. The creature's pale, tentacled form suggests an incomplete fusion of mortal and cosmic elements. The relationship between these cosmic children and their mortal mothers reveals much about the Great One's understanding of parenthood and nurturing. The children cannot survive separation from their mothers, suggesting that the Great Ones have failed to create truly independent offspring. Instead, they have created beings that exist in a state of perpetual dependency, requiring constant connection to mortal life force to maintain their existence. This dependency may actually be intentional, representing the Great One's attempt to ensure their surrogate children remain connected to mortal experience. By creating offspring that require mortal mothers, the Great Ones may believe they are preserving the human elements that make these children valuable as surrogates. However, this strategy ultimately backfires, as the resulting children are too weak and dependent to fulfill their intended role. The cosmic pregnancies also reveal the Great One's fundamental misunderstanding of mortal reproduction and child rearing. The Great Ones approach reproduction as a purely creative act, focusing on the generation of offspring without considering the complex biological, emotional, and social processes that actually create successful parent-child relationships. Their cosmic perspective allows them to see the beginning and end of the reproductive process, but blinds them to the gradual development and nurturing that occurs between these points. The failure of the blood moon pregnancies to produce viable, long-term surrogates forces the Great Ones to pursue alternative strategies. The hunter, who consumes 3/3 umbilical cords and defeats the moon presence, represents a more successful approach to surrogate creation, one that involves gradual transformation and testing rather than direct reproduction. Chapter 5. The Hunter's Dream as Cosmic Nursery. The Hunter's Dream stands as perhaps the most sophisticated and successful example of the Great One's attempts to create and nurture surrogate children. Far from being simply a base of operations for hunters, the dream serves as an elaborate nursery designed by the moon presence to identify, test, and ultimately transform suitable candidates into cosmic offspring. The very structure of the hunter's dream reflects its true purpose as a cosmic nursery. The workshop provides tools and weapons, but these serve a dual purpose: They are both practical implements for hunting and toys designed to teach important lessons. The practice of upgrading weapons and learning new combat techniques mirrors the way children develop skills through play and experimentation. Yharnam's role in the dream extends far beyond that of a simple guide or instructor. He serves as a surrogate father figure, providing guidance, instruction, and ultimately a crucial test of the hunter's development. Yharnam's paternal relationship with the hunters is evident in his protective instincts and his willingness to sacrifice himself to spare them from the dream's eternal cycle. The plain doll represents the maternal aspect of this cosmic nursery. Her gentle demeanor, caring nature, and ability to channel blood, echoes into strength, reflect the nurturing role she plays in the hunter's development. The doll's origins as a creation of Yharnam's grief over Maria's death add another layer to her maternal symbolism, as she represents both the idealized mother figure and the tragedy of loss that drives the Great One's quest for surrogate children. The endless cycle of death and rebirth within the dream serves multiple purposes in the Great One's surrogate creation process. First, it allows for extensive testing and evaluation of each hunter's capabilities and character. Hunters who prove inadequate can be recycled through death without permanent loss, while those who show promise can be guided toward greater challenges. Second, the cycle of death and rebirth gradually strips away the hunter's attachments to mortal life. Each death makes the hunter less human and more suited to cosmic existence. The process is gradual and subtle, ensuring that the hunter retains enough humanity to remain a suitable surrogate while slowly preparing them for eventual transformation. The various locations accessible from the hunter's dream serve as testing grounds for different aspects of surrogate development. Central Yharnam tests basic survival skills and adaptability. The Cathedral Ward evaluates the hunter's ability to navigate religious and political corruption. The Forbidden Woods and Byrgenwerth assess the hunter's response to cosmic truth and forbidden knowledge. Each area provides different challenges designed to evaluate specific qualities the Great Ones value in surrogate children. The hunter's responses to these challenges help determine their suitability for eventual transformation and their compatibility with cosmic consciousness. The progression system within the dream reflects the Great One's understanding of child development. Blood echoes serve as a form of cosmic nutrition, allowing hunters to grow stronger and more capable. The ability to channel these echoes through the doll suggests that the Great Ones understand the importance of nurturing figures in the development process. The various tools and items available in the dream serve educational purposes, teaching hunters about cosmic forces and otherworldly entities. The discovery of Carol runes provides insight into the language of the Great Ones, while various weapons and items carry lore that gradually reveals cosmic truths. This educational aspect of the dream ensures that suitable hunters develop the cosmic awareness necessary for eventual transformation. The dream's timeless nature serves another crucial purpose in the surrogate creation process. By existing outside normal temporal flow, the dream allows the Great Ones to observe and guide hunter development across extended periods without the risk of losing potential surrogates to aging or natural death. This temporal isolation also helps prepare hunters for existence as Great Ones, who operate according to cosmic rather than mortal timeframes. The relationship between the dream and the various nightmare realms reveals the complexity of the Great One's nursery system. The dream serves as a safe space where hunters can develop without excessive risk, while the nightmares provide more dangerous testing grounds for advanced candidates. The hunter's ability to access these nightmare realms through the dream demonstrates their growing cosmic awareness and readiness for greater challenges. The presence of other hunters within the dream, both as allies and adversaries, serves important developmental purposes. Cooperation with friendly hunters teaches the importance of cosmic harmony, while conflicts with hostile hunters test the candidate's ability to make difficult decisions and overcome challenges through force when necessary. The dream's responsive nature, changing and evolving based on the hunter's actions and development, reflects the Great One's sophisticated understanding of individual development. The appearance of new areas, items, and challenges corresponds to the hunter's growing capabilities and cosmic awareness, ensuring that the surrogate creation process remains appropriately challenging throughout. Chapter 6. The Nightmare Realms as Testing Grounds. Beyond the hunter's dream lies a complex network of nightmare realms, each designed to test different aspects of potential surrogate children and serve the specific purposes of various Great Ones. These nightmares represent the darker side of the cosmic nursery system, where the Great One's alien nature and imperfect understanding of mortal psychology create spaces of testing that often border on torture. The Nightmare Frontier stands as one of the most revealing examples of how the Great One's testing grounds reflect their alien priorities. Ruled by amygdala, this poisonous wasteland serves as a trial by endurance and adaptation. The constant threat of poison damage, the maze-like layout, and the presence of hostile silver beasts create an environment where only the most persistent and adaptable hunters can succeed. The Nightmare Frontier's design reveals amygdala's understanding of what makes a suitable surrogate child. The emphasis on endurance and adaptation suggests that amygdala values persistence and flexibility in potential offspring. The realm's labyrinthine structure forces hunters to demonstrate problem-solving skills and spatial reasoning, while the constant environmental threats test their ability to manage resources and maintain focus under pressure. The presence of multiple amygdalae throughout Yharnam suggests that these Great Ones serve as observers and evaluators, watching for suitable candidates who might be worthy of testing in their nightmare realm. The fact that amygdalae can transport hunters to the Nightmare Frontier indicates their active role in the selection and evaluation process. The hunter's nightmare, accessed through the DLC content, reveals another aspect of the Great One's testing system. This realm serves both as a punishment for hunters who have committed grave sins and as a proving ground for those seeking redemption or transcendence. The Nightmare's design reflects the Great One's understanding of justice and moral development, suggesting that they value ethical behavior in their surrogate children. The hunter's nightmare's emphasis on confronting past sins and overcoming personal demons reveals the Great One's sophisticated understanding of psychological development. The presence of corrupted versions of familiar locations and enemies forces hunters to confront their own capacity for violence and moral compromise. This psychological testing serves to identify hunters who possess the moral flexibility necessary for cosmic existence, while weeding out those who might be too rigid or guilt-ridden to serve as suitable surrogates. The Nightmare of Menses represents perhaps the most complex and dangerous of the testing grounds. Created through the School of Menses's ritual to contact Murgo, this nightmare serves multiple purposes in the Great One's surrogate creation system. It functions as both a prison for Murgo and a testing ground for hunters capable of navigating its unique dangers. The Nightmare of Menses's design reflects the combined influence of multiple Great Ones. The presence of the brain of Menses creates areas of intense frenzy that test the hunter's mental stability and resistance to cosmic madness. The maze-like structure of the realm, combined with hostile shadows of Yharnam and other enemies, evaluates the hunter's combat skills and tactical thinking. The requirement to silence Murgo's crying adds another layer to the testing process. The hunter must demonstrate both the compassion to understand Murgo's suffering and the strength to take decisive action to end it. This test reveals the Great One's understanding that suitable surrogate children must possess both empathy and the willingness to make difficult decisions. The various chalice dungeons accessible through the dream represent yet another form of testing ground, focusing on different aspects of surrogate development. These procedurally generated labyrinths test the hunter's ability to adapt to unpredictable environments and overcome challenges without prior knowledge or preparation. The Chalice Dungeon's connection to the ancient Thumerian civilization reveals the historical scope of the Great One's surrogate creation efforts. The presence of Thumerian enemies and artifacts suggests that the Great Ones have been using similar testing methods for millennia, constantly refining their selection and evaluation processes based on the results of previous attempts. The increasing difficulty and complexity of the Chalice Dungeons serve as a graduated testing system, allowing the Great Ones to evaluate hunters at various stages of development. The deepest dungeons, with their cursed environments and overwhelming challenges, represent final examinations for hunters approaching readiness for cosmic transformation. The presence of Great One enemies within these testing realms serves multiple purposes. First, it allows the Great Ones to observe how potential surrogates interact with cosmic beings, evaluating their responses to otherworldly entities. Second, it provides direct testing of the hunter's combat capabilities against cosmic-level threats. Finally, it serves as a form of cosmic education, exposing hunters to the reality of Great One existence and preparing them for eventual transformation. The Nightmare Realm's ability to trap souls and consciousness reveals another aspect of the Great One's testing methodology. By creating environments where death does not provide escape, the Great Ones can conduct extended evaluations of potential surrogates without losing valuable candidates to mortality. This trapped existence also serves as preparation for cosmic consciousness, which exists outside normal temporal and spatial limitations. Chapter 7. The School of Mensis and Artificial Ascension. The School of Mensis represents humanity's most ambitious and misguided attempt to understand and manipulate the Great One's surrogate creation process. Led by Mikolash, host of the Nightmare, the scholars of Mensis sought to bypass the gradual testing and development process preferred by the Great Ones, instead attempting to force direct contact with cosmic beings and achieve instant transcendence. The Mensis ritual, designed to make contact with Murgo, reveals both humanity's misunderstanding of the Great One's true purpose and their own desperate desire to be chosen as surrogate children. The scholars' use of cages on their heads, devices meant to restrain the will of the self and serve as antennas for cosmic communication, demonstrates their belief that surrendering human consciousness was the key to cosmic acceptance. This approach fundamentally misunderstands what the Great Ones seek in surrogate children. Rather than wanting empty vessels devoid of human consciousness, the Great Ones value the unique perspectives and experiences that mortal beings bring to cosmic existence. The Mensis scholars' attempt to erase their humanity in pursuit of cosmic favor actually made them less suitable as surrogate children, not more. The result of the Mensis ritual, the stillbirth of the scholars' brains, reveals the fatal flaw in their approach. By attempting to force contact with Murgo without proper preparation or understanding, the scholars created a connection that drained their minds rather than elevating them. The presence of the brain of Mensis, described as terribly rotten and lined with eyes of an evil sort, suggests that their forced ascension produced something corrupt and twisted rather than truly transcendent. Mikolash's transformation into the host of the Nightmare represents both a success and a failure of the Mensis approach. While he has achieved a form of immortality and cosmic awareness, he has become trapped in an endless cycle of madness and obsession. His fragmented dialogue during the boss encounter reveals a mind shattered by cosmic truth but still desperately seeking validation and understanding. The creation of the One reborn through Mensis ritual work represents another failed attempt at artificial ascension. This grotesque fusion of corpses and cosmic energy demonstrates the school's misunderstanding of how Great Ones actually create offspring. Rather than nurturing gradual transformation, the Mensis scholars attempted to brute force the creation of a cosmic being through ritual magic and necromancy. The One Reborn's immediate collapse and weakness reveal the futility of this approach. Without the gradual development and testing that characterizes successful surrogate creation, the artificial Great One lacks the stability and consciousness necessary for true cosmic existence. It serves as a warning about the dangers of attempting to rush the surrogate creation process. The presence of bell-ringing women throughout Mensis areas reveals another aspect of their flawed methodology. These figures, seemingly created or controlled by the Mensis ritual, demonstrate the school's attempt to replicate the nurturing aspects of the Great One's surrogate creation system. However, the bell-ringing women's hostile nature and their role in summoning additional enemies suggests that the Mensis scholars misunderstood the true purpose of cosmic guidance. Rather than providing genuine nurturing and education, the bell-ringing women serve as obstacles and threats, reflecting the Mensis scholars' belief that cosmic transcendence must be earned through suffering and conflict. This approach ignores the Great One's actual desire to protect and develop their surrogate children, instead creating an environment of hostility and danger. The nightmare of Mensis itself serves as a testament to the dangers of artificial ascension attempts. The realm's chaotic and hostile nature reflects the corruption introduced by forcing cosmic contact without proper preparation. The presence of hostile shadows of Yharnam, the maddening influence of the brain of Mensis, and the generally oppressive atmosphere all demonstrate how artificial attempts at cosmic transcendence can create corrupted nightmare realms rather than the protective nursery environments preferred by the Great Ones. The School of Mensis's ultimate fate serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of understanding the Great One's true purpose before attempting to engage with them. The scholars' desire to be chosen as surrogate children was genuine, but their methods were based on fundamental misunderstandings about what the Great Ones actually sought in potential offspring. The Healing Church's attempts at artificial Great One creation through the research hall experiments represent another example of humanity's flawed approach to cosmic ascension. The living failures, created through attempts to grant patients eyes on the inside, demonstrate the dangers of trying to force cosmic awareness without proper development and preparation. These failed experiments reveal the Church's misunderstanding of how cosmic consciousness actually develops. Rather than being something that can be artificially induced through medical procedures, cosmic awareness requires the gradual development of understanding and perspective that can only come through experience and testing. The patients in the research hall, with their enlarged heads and cosmic awareness, represent incomplete transformations that fail to achieve true transcendence. Their fate as failures demonstrates that forced ascension attempts typically result in madness and suffering rather than the cosmic consciousness their creators sought. Chapter 8. Oedon's Formless Strategy. Among all the Great Ones, Oedon represents perhaps the most sophisticated and ultimately successful approach to surrogate creation. As a formless Great One who exists only in voice and consciousness, Oedon has developed unique strategies for reproduction and surrogate development that overcome many of the limitations faced by other cosmic beings. Oedon's formless nature allows for a level of subtlety and pervasive influence that other Great Ones cannot match. Unlike the moon presence, which must work through elaborate dream realms and testing grounds, or amygdala, which must rely on nightmare transportation and environmental challenges, Oedon can infiltrate the very blood and consciousness of potential surrogates without their awareness. The genius of Oedon's approach lies in its integration with humanity's existing systems and desires. Rather than creating obviously supernatural testing grounds or forcing dramatic transformations, Oedon works through the old blood itself, using humanity's desire for healing and transcendence as a vector for surrogate creation. This strategy allows Oedon to reach far more potential candidates than other Great Ones, while maintaining plausible deniability about the true nature of the transformation process. Oedon's influence extends throughout Yharnam's history, present in every blood ministration, every healing ritual, every attempt to use the old blood for human benefit. The Healing Church's entire operation, from its founding by Lawrence to its eventual corruption, serves Oedon's reproductive strategy. The Church's emphasis on blood purity, special bloodlines, and the selection of blood saints all reflect Oedon's criteria for suitable surrogate mothers. The selection of Ariana as a primary target for Oedon's reproductive attempts reveals the sophistication of this strategy. Ariana's connection to the Cainhurst bloodline marks her as genetically suitable for cosmic pregnancy, while her profession as a woman of pleasure provides Oedon with multiple opportunities for blood contact through her interactions with various clients. This dual approach, genetic suitability, combined with behavioral opportunity, demonstrates Oedon's understanding of both the biological and social factors necessary for successful surrogate creation. Oedon's ability to exist within blood allows for a form of genetic engineering that other Great Ones cannot achieve. Rather than simply impregnating suitable women, Oedon can gradually modify their blood chemistry and genetic structure over time, preparing them for eventual cosmic pregnancy. This preparation process helps explain why some women prove more suitable for cosmic reproduction than others. They have been unknowingly prepared through extended exposure to Oedon's influence. The relationship between Oedon and Queen Yharnam represents the most successful example of this reproductive strategy. Queen Yharnam's status as a Pthumerian ruler, already touched by cosmic forces and experienced with otherworldly entities, made her an ideal candidate for Oedon's approach. The resulting child, Murgo, while still incomplete, represents a significant advancement over Oedon's other reproductive attempts. Murgo's formless nature, inherited from Oedon, provides certain advantages that other cosmic children lack. Rather than being trapped in physical form like Ariana's child or the orphan of Kos, Murgo exists as pure consciousness, allowing for greater flexibility and potentially longer survival. The ability to exist in nightmare realms without physical limitations suggests that formless existence might represent an optimal state for Great One offspring. However, even Murgo's existence demonstrates the limitations of Oedon's approach. Despite being the most successful cosmic child, Murgo remains trapped in an infantile state, requiring protection from Murgo's wet nurse and unable to develop beyond its current form. The constant crying that characterizes Murgo's existence suggests a being trapped in perpetual distress, unable to mature or find comfort despite its cosmic nature. The School of Mensis's ritual to contact Murgo reveals another aspect of Oedon's reproductive strategy. By allowing human scholars to make contact with his child, Oedon creates additional opportunities for surrogate development. The scholars who participate in the ritual become potential surrogate parents or siblings for Murgo, providing the cosmic child with additional sources of nurturing and development. However, the ritual's failure and the resulting stillbirth of the scholars' brains demonstrates the dangers inherent in Oedon's approach. The formless nature that provides Oedon with flexibility and subtlety also makes his influence difficult to control or limit. Once contact is established, Oedon's presence can quickly overwhelm mortal minds, resulting in madness or death rather than successful surrogate creation. Oedon's influence on the hunter character throughout the game represents perhaps his most sophisticated surrogate creation attempt. Rather than directly impregnating or transforming the hunter, Oedon works through the third umbilical cords, each of which carries his essence and the accumulated grief of failed cosmic reproduction. By consuming these cords, the hunter takes on aspects of Oedon's consciousness and reproductive drive. The hunter's eventual transformation into an infant, Great One, represents the successful culmination of Oedon's formless strategy. Unlike his other reproductive attempts, which sought to create children through direct biological processes, the transformation of the hunter represents a form of spiritual adoption. The hunter becomes Oedon's surrogate child, not through birth, but through the gradual accumulation of cosmic consciousness and the integration of cosmic grief and yearning. This spiritual adoption process may represent the optimal approach to Great One reproduction. Rather than attempting to force biological compatibility between cosmic and mortal elements, The process allows for the gradual transformation of consciousness while preserving the essential experiences and perspectives that make mortal beings valuable as surrogate children. Oedon's connection to the very concept of blood reveals another layer of his reproductive strategy. Blood, in the world of Bloodborne, represents more than mere biological fluid. It carries memory, consciousness, and spiritual essence. By existing within blood, Oedon can influence not just individual reproduction, but the entire flow of consciousness and memory throughout human society. This pervasive influence explains many of the seemingly random events throughout Bloodborne: the scourge of beasts, the corruption of the healing church, the madness that affects various characters. All of these can be understood as side effects of Oedon's presence within the blood supply of Yharnam. The Great One's quest for surrogate children creates ripple effects that touch every aspect of human society. Chapter 9. The Tragedy of Cosmic Parenthood. The true tragedy of the Great Ones lies not in their power or their alien nature, but in their fundamental misunderstanding of what makes parenthood meaningful and successful. Despite their cosmic consciousness and multidimensional awareness, the Great Ones consistently fail to grasp the essential elements of nurturing, development, and love that characterize successful parent-child relationships. This failure stems from the Great Ones' transcendent nature itself. Their existence across multiple planes of reality means they cannot be fully present in any single moment or dimension long enough to provide the consistent, focused attention that developing children require. The cosmic perspective that grants them their power also blinds them to the intimate, moment-to-moment experiences that form the foundation of meaningful relationships. The Great Ones approach parenthood as a problem to be solved through power and manipulation, rather than a relationship to be developed through patience and understanding. Their attempts to create surrogate children focus on acquisition and control rather than genuine nurturing and development. This approach consistently produces children who are powerful but stunted, cosmic but incomplete. Murgo's eternal crying serves as perhaps the most poignant symbol of this cosmic parental failure. Despite being the child of a Great One and possessing formless existence that should free it from mortal limitations, Murgo remains trapped in a state of perpetual distress. The child's cries echo throughout the nightmare of Mensis, a constant reminder of unmet needs and unfulfilled potential. The protection provided by Murgo's wet nurse reveals the Great One's attempt to address their parental inadequacies through delegation. Unable to provide direct nurturing themselves, they create or recruit surrogate caregivers to fulfill parental functions. However, these caregivers, being artificial constructs or transformed beings, cannot provide the genuine emotional connection and understanding that children need for healthy development. The Orphan of Kos represents another aspect of cosmic parental failure. Emerging from its dead mother's womb in a state of rage and violence, the orphan embodies the trauma and abandonment that characterizes many Great One children. Its aggressive behavior and eventual return to the cosmic ocean suggest a being that never received the nurturing necessary for healthy emotional development. The relationship between Ebrietas and the scholars at Björgenwerth illustrates the Great One's confusion between parenthood and manipulation. Ebrietas shares cosmic knowledge with the scholars not out of genuine desire to help them develop, but as part of her quest to transform them into suitable surrogate children. This instrumental approach to relationships prevents the formation of genuine emotional bonds. The scholar's transformation into kin represents the predictable result of this manipulative approach to parenthood. Rather than growing into fulfilled cosmic beings, they become stunted creatures that have lost their humanity without gaining genuine cosmic consciousness. They serve Ebrietas' needs without receiving the love and support necessary for their own development. The Moon. Presence's relationship with the hunters in the dream reveals similar patterns of cosmic parental failure. Despite creating an elaborate system for identifying and developing potential surrogate children, the moon presence ultimately seeks to control and transform its chosen candidates rather than genuinely nurture them. The endless cycle of hunting and death serves the moon presence's needs for evaluation and testing, but provides little opportunity for the genuine growth and development that children require. Gehrman's role as a surrogate father figure highlights the inadequacy of the Great One's approach to parenthood. While Gehrman provides guidance and instruction to the hunters, he is ultimately trapped by the moon presence's design, unable to offer genuine freedom or independence to his charges. His final offer to free the hunter from the dream represents his recognition of this fundamental limitation, acknowledging that true parenthood requires the willingness to let children choose their own paths. The doll's maternal role, while more nurturing than other cosmic attempts at childcare, still reflects the artificial and incomplete nature of Great One parenthood. Created as an idealized version of Maria, the doll can provide comfort and support, but lacks the complex emotions and personal history that characterize genuine maternal relationships. Her love, while sincere within its limitations, is programmed rather than developed through shared experience. The hunter's eventual transformation into an infant Great One, cradled by the doll, represents both the culmination and the ultimate failure of the cosmic parental project. While the moon presence has finally achieved its goal of creating a surrogate child, the process has stripped away the very humanity that made the hunter valuable as a surrogate in the first place. The resulting infant Great One may possess cosmic power, but it has lost the experiences and perspectives that originally attracted the moon presence's attention. This pattern of cosmic parental failure extends beyond individual relationships to encompass entire civilizations. The Thumerians, the people of Loran, the scholars of Bergenwerth, the citizens of Yharnam, all represent societies that have been touched by the Great One's quest for surrogate children, and all have ultimately been destroyed or corrupted by the experience. The Great One's inability to understand the destructive nature of their influence stems from their cosmic perspective. From their multidimensional viewpoint, the suffering and destruction they cause may appear temporary or insignificant compared to the cosmic purposes they serve. However, this perspective blinds them to the genuine value of mortal experience and the irreplaceable nature of human consciousness and culture. The recurring phrase, "Every Great One loses its child and then yearns for a surrogate," takes on additional meaning when viewed through this lens of cosmic parental failure. The Great Ones do not simply lose their children through unfortunate circumstances. They actively drive them away through their inability to provide genuine love and nurturing. Their subsequent yearning for surrogates represents not just reproductive drive, but a desperate attempt to fill the emotional void created by their own parental inadequacies. Chapter 10. The Human Response to Cosmic Adoption. Throughout Bloodborne, we witness various human responses to the Great One's attempts at surrogate adoption, revealing the complex psychological and social dynamics that arise when mortal beings encounter cosmic parental figures. These responses range from desperate acceptance to violent rejection, each providing insight into both human nature and the fundamental incompatibility between mortal and cosmic consciousness. The scholars of Bergenwerth represent perhaps the most willing participants in the cosmic adoption process. Their academic backgrounds and institutional authority created an environment where contact with cosmic beings could be rationalized as scholarly pursuit, rather than acknowledged as the desperate quest for transcendent parenthood it actually represented. Willem's famous declaration about needing more eyes reflects his understanding that human consciousness must be fundamentally altered to accommodate cosmic adoption. However, even among the Bergenwerth scholars, we see evidence of the psychological toll exacted by cosmic adoption attempts. The transformation into kin represents not just physical change, but the loss of human identity and agency. These transformed beings retain enough human consciousness to understand what they have lost, while gaining cosmic awareness that makes their loss seem insignificant from a universal perspective. The split between Willem and Lawrence reveals two fundamentally different approaches to cosmic adoption. Willem's path emphasizes conscious evolution and gradual transformation, accepting the necessity of losing humanity to gain cosmic perspective. Lawrence's approach through blood ministration represents an attempt to gain cosmic benefits while preserving human nature, a compromise that ultimately proves impossible and leads to the beast scourge. The citizens of Yharnam who undergo blood ministration represent unconscious participants in the cosmic adoption process. Their desire for healing and transcendence makes them willing subjects for transformation, but their lack of understanding about the true nature of the process leaves them vulnerable to exploitation. The beast scourge that eventually consumes many of them represents the failure of this unconscious approach to cosmic adoption. The transformation into beasts reveals the Great One's fundamental misunderstanding of human nature. Rather than preserving the qualities that make humans suitable as surrogate children, the blood ministration process amplifies humanity's most basic drives while stripping away higher cognitive functions. The resulting beasts embody humanity as the Great Ones perceive it: violent, instinctual, and in need of guidance, rather than humanity as it actually exists. The hunters represent a more active and conscious form of participation in cosmic adoption. Unlike the passive recipients of blood ministration, hunters actively engage with cosmic forces and accept the transformation that comes with their role. The hunter's dream serves as a transitional space where this adoption process can unfold gradually, allowing hunters to maintain their human consciousness while slowly adapting to cosmic awareness. The various hunter characters encountered throughout the game demonstrate different stages and outcomes of this adoption process. Eileen the Crow represents a hunter who has achieved a sustainable balance between human and cosmic consciousness, serving cosmic purposes while retaining human agency and moral judgment. Her role as a hunter of hunters reflects her understanding of the dangers inherent in cosmic adoption and her commitment to preventing the worst outcomes. Father Gascoigne's transformation into a beast represents the failure of the hunter adoption process. Despite his training and preparation, the cosmic forces he encountered ultimately overwhelmed his human consciousness, transforming him into exactly the kind of creature he was trained to eliminate. His tragic fate serves as a warning about the dangers of cosmic adoption for those who are inadequately prepared or supported. Jura's retreat to Old Yharnam and his protection of the beasts there represents another form of response to cosmic adoption failure. Rather than continuing to serve cosmic purposes through hunting, Jura has chosen to protect the victims of failed adoption attempts. His position overlooking the beast-filled ruins of Old Yharnam serves as both a memorial to cosmic adoption failure and a guard post against further exploitation. The School of Mensis scholars represent the most extreme form of willing participation in cosmic adoption. Their use of cages to restrain the will of the self demonstrates their belief that complete surrender of human consciousness is necessary for cosmic acceptance. The stillbirth of their brains reveals the fatal flaw in this approach. The Great Ones value human consciousness as much as they value cosmic awareness, and attempts to eliminate one in favor of the other result in failure. Michaelash's fate as the host of the nightmare represents a form of successful cosmic adoption that has become a prison rather than transcendence. While he has achieved immortality and cosmic awareness, he remains trapped in cycles of madness and obsession, unable to develop beyond his initial transformation. His fragmented dialogue during the boss encounter reveals a consciousness that has been fundamentally damaged by the adoption process. The characters who become pregnant with cosmic children represent another form of human response to Great One adoption attempts. Ariana's fear and withdrawal following her pregnancy demonstrate the psychological trauma associated with unwanted cosmic adoption. Her child's dependence on her for survival creates a relationship dynamic that serves cosmic needs while ignoring human emotional and psychological requirements. The false Yosefka's apparent acceptance of her cosmic pregnancy represents a different response, possibly influenced by her prior transformation into kin. Her clinical detachment from the process suggests that prior cosmic influence may have altered her emotional capacity, making her more suitable for cosmic reproduction, but less capable of genuine human connection. Queen Yharnam's relationship with Murgo represents the most successful example of cosmic adoption from a human perspective. As a Pthumerian ruler already familiar with cosmic forces, Queen Yharnam was better prepared for the demands of cosmic motherhood than mortal humans. However, even this relationship ultimately results in tragedy. With Murgo trapped in nightmare existence and Queen Yharnam bound to eternal protection of her cosmic child, the Hunter character's ultimate transformation into an infant Great One represents the most complete form of cosmic adoption achieved in the game. By consuming the third umbilical cords and defeating the moon presence, the Hunter transcends the limitations that prevent other adoption attempts from succeeding. However, this success comes at the cost of human consciousness and identity, raising questions about whether such adoption can truly be considered beneficial from a human perspective. Chapter 11. The Cycle of Cosmic Loss. The cycle of the recurring pattern of loss that characterizes the Great One's existence extends far beyond their inability to produce viable offspring. It encompasses a fundamental cycle of cosmic consciousness that drives their behavior and shapes their interactions with mortal beings. Understanding this cycle provides crucial insight into the Great One's true purpose and the tragic inevitability of their surrogate creation attempts. The cycle begins with the Great One's transcendence to cosmic consciousness. As beings evolve beyond mortal limitations and gain multidimensional awareness, they lose their connection to the immediate, present moment experience that characterizes mortal existence. This loss of immediacy creates the first tragedy. The Great Ones become powerful enough to perceive ultimate truth, but lose the ability to experience simple, direct pleasure and connection. The pursuit of cosmic consciousness requires the abandonment of mortal concerns and limitations. Great Ones must transcend individual identity, temporal existence, and physical form to achieve their cosmic perspective. However, this transcendence comes at the cost of everything that makes existence personally meaningful. Relationships, growth, discovery, and change become abstract concepts rather than lived experiences. The loss of the ability to create viable offspring represents the most acute manifestation of this cosmic tragedy. The same transcendence that grants Great Ones their power also prevents them from participating in the creative processes that give life meaning. They become sterile, not just biologically, but spiritually, capable of observing and manipulating creation, but unable to participate in it directly. This sterility drives the Great Ones to seek connection with mortal beings who still possess the creative and reproductive capabilities they have lost. However, their cosmic nature makes genuine connection impossible. Any meaningful contact with Great Ones transforms mortals in ways that diminish or destroy the very qualities that made them appealing as surrogate children. The Great One's attempts to overcome this limitation through surrogate creation create a secondary cycle of loss. Each attempt to create or adopt surrogate children requires the destruction or fundamental alteration of the beings they seek to nurture. The hunter who becomes an infant, Great One, the scholars who transform into kin, the citizens who become beasts, all represent losses of unique mortal consciousness in service of cosmic reproductive drives. This pattern extends to entire civilizations and cultures. The Pthumerians, once a thriving civilization with their own culture and achievements, become trapped in endless labyrinthine existence, their consciousness preserved, but their capacity for growth and development frozen. Their eternal existence serves the Great One's purposes, but represents a form of cultural death, a civilization transformed into a static monument to cosmic intervention. The people of Loran, transformed into silver beasts through cosmic influence, represent another form of civilizational loss. Their transformation preserves their forms but destroys their humanity, creating beings that serve as guardians and servants for cosmic purposes, while losing all connection to their original cultural identity and individual consciousness. Yharnam itself follows this same pattern on a smaller timescale. The city's transformation from a center of healing and learning into a nightmare realm populated by beasts and cosmic horrors represents the inevitable outcome of cosmic intervention in mortal affairs. The Great One's attempts to find suitable surrogate children destroy the very society that produced those children in the first place. The cyclic nature of these losses suggests that the Great Ones are trapped in a pattern they cannot escape. Their cosmic consciousness allows them to perceive the outcomes of their actions across vast spans of time and space, yet they cannot resist the compulsion to repeat the same destructive patterns. This suggests that the drive to create surrogate children is not simply a choice, but a fundamental aspect of Great One nature that they cannot overcome through conscious decision. The tragedy deepens when we consider that the Great One's cosmic perspective allows them to see the futility of their efforts. They understand that their attempts at surrogate creation consistently fail and cause tremendous suffering, yet they continue these attempts anyway. This suggests that cosmic consciousness, rather than providing wisdom and understanding, may actually trap beings in cycles of compulsive behavior driven by needs they can observe but cannot satisfy. The hunter's transformation into an infant Great One perpetuates this cycle rather than breaking it. The newly created Great One will inevitably experience the same drive for surrogate children that characterizes all Great Ones, setting up future cycles of cosmic intervention and mortal suffering. The apparent victory of achieving successful surrogate creation actually represents the continuation of an eternal pattern of cosmic loss and destructive yearning. The doll's role in caring for the newly transformed hunter reflects the Great One's attempt to break this cycle through artificial nurturing. However, the doll's artificial nature means that the infant Great One will receive care without genuine emotional connection, setting up the same patterns of incomplete development that characterize other Great One children. This cycle of cosmic loss extends beyond individual relationships to encompass the fundamental structure of reality in Bloodborne's universe. The nightmare realms themselves represent crystallized moments of cosmic loss, spaces where the Great One's failed attempts at connection and reproduction have become permanent features of the dimensional landscape. The interconnected nature of these nightmare realms, as evidenced by the visual connections between the Nightmare Frontier, Hunter's Nightmare, and Nightmare of Menses, suggests that cosmic loss accumulates over time, creating increasingly complex and dangerous dimensional structures. Each failed attempt at surrogate creation adds another layer to the nightmare reality that surrounds and threatens mortal existence. The presence of multiple Great Ones operating simultaneously in and around Yharnam suggests that cosmic loss may be accelerating or intensifying. The convergence of so many cosmic beings in one location indicates either desperation or opportunity, possibly representing a critical moment in the ongoing cycle of cosmic reproduction attempts. The phrase, "fear the old blood," takes on additional meaning when viewed through this lens of cosmic loss. The old blood represents not just the physical substance that transforms humans into beasts, but the accumulated grief and yearning of eons of cosmic reproductive failure. Each use of the old blood continues the cycle of loss, drawing mortals into patterns of cosmic suffering that have been repeating for millennia. Chapter 12. The True Purpose Revealed. After examining the complex web of relationships, motivations, and tragic cycles that characterize the Great One's interactions with humanity, we can finally articulate their true purpose. The Great Ones seek to escape the isolation and sterility of cosmic consciousness by creating beings that can bridge the gap between mortal experience and cosmic awareness. Their ultimate goal is not domination or destruction, but connection. The desperate attempt of transcendent beings to reconnect with the immediate, creative, and meaningful existence they sacrificed in their ascension to cosmic consciousness. The Great One's true purpose is revealed through the pattern of their actions, rather than their stated intentions. Every aspect of their behavior, the creation of nightmare realms, the manipulation of human societies, the quest for surrogate children, serves the underlying goal of creating beings capable of existing in both mortal and cosmic states simultaneously. They seek surrogate children not as replacements for their lost offspring, but as bridges back to the mortal experience they have lost. This bridge-building function explains why the Great Ones consistently fail in their surrogate creation attempts. They cannot simply create cosmic beings, as such beings would suffer from the same isolation and sterility that plague the Great Ones themselves. Nor can they preserve purely mortal beings, as such beings lack the cosmic awareness necessary to serve as effective bridges. The successful surrogate must somehow combine both states of existence without fully committing to either. The hunter's transformation into an infant Great One represents the closest the Great Ones have come to achieving this bridge-building goal. By maintaining memories and experiences from mortal existence, while gaining cosmic awareness through the consumption of third umbilical cords, the transformed hunter creates a form of consciousness that encompasses both mortal and cosmic perspectives. However, even this apparent success reveals the fundamental impossibility of the Great One's true purpose. The transformation necessarily changes the hunter's consciousness in ways that diminish their mortal perspective, while their cosmic awareness remains incomplete and dependent on artificial nurturing. The resulting infant Great One exists in a liminal state that satisfies neither mortal nor cosmic needs fully. The Great One's sympathetic nature, repeatedly emphasized throughout the game's lore, stems from their recognition of this fundamental impossibility. They understand that their quest for bridge-building surrogates inevitably destroys the very qualities they seek to preserve, yet they cannot abandon the attempt without accepting permanent isolation from meaningful existence. This sympathetic consciousness explains why the Great Ones respond to prayers and calls for help from mortals. They genuinely wish to assist and protect humanity, but their cosmic nature means that their assistance invariably transforms or corrupts those they seek to help. The Moon Presence's response to Yharnam's prayer to animate the doll represents genuine cosmic compassion, but the resulting creation serves cosmic needs more than mortal ones. The Nightmare Realms serve a dual purpose in the Great One's bridge-building project. They provide spaces where mortal consciousness can be gradually exposed to cosmic awareness without immediate destruction, allowing for the careful evaluation and development of potential bridge beings. Simultaneously, they offer the Great Ones themselves opportunities to observe and experience mortal perspectives indirectly, satisfying some of their yearning for connection without requiring complete abandonment of cosmic consciousness. The educational aspects of the Hunter's Dream and other testing grounds reflect the Great One's understanding that successful bridge building requires preparation and development rather than forced transformation. The gradual introduction of cosmic concepts through Caril runes, the progressive increase in challenges and revelations, and the careful nurturing provided by Yharnam and the doll all serve to prepare potential surrogates for their bridge-building role. The failure of forced ascension attempts, such as those conducted by the School of Menses and the Healing Church's Research Hall, demonstrates the importance of this gradual approach. Beings who are thrust suddenly into cosmic consciousness without proper preparation lose their mortal perspective entirely, making them useless as bridges between mortal and cosmic existence. The Great One's manipulation of human societies serves their bridge-building purpose by creating environments where suitable candidates can develop and be identified. The establishment of institutions like Byrgenwerth and the Healing Church provides structured contexts for cosmic contact while maintaining enough human social structure to preserve mortal perspective in potential candidates. However, these institutional approaches consistently fail because they cannot replicate the individual development process necessary for successful bridge building. Institutions tend to homogenize human experience and create systematic approaches to cosmic contact, when the bridge building process requires the preservation of individual perspective and unique mortal experience. The tragic irony of the Great One's true purpose is that success in creating bridge beings necessarily involves the destruction of the very perspectives they seek to preserve. Each successful surrogate represents the loss of a unique mortal consciousness and the creation of a being that can never fully return to mortal existence. The Great One's compassionate desire to reconnect with mortal experience requires the sacrifice of mortal beings, creating an ethical paradox that cannot be resolved. The recurring cycles of cosmic loss and failed surrogate creation suggest that the Great Ones are trapped in a pattern that serves no one's true interests. Their bridge-building project consistently fails to achieve its stated goals while causing tremendous suffering for the mortal beings caught up in the process. Yet their cosmic consciousness prevents them from abandoning the attempt, as the alternative is accepting permanent isolation from meaningful existence. The player's journey through Bloodborne represents participation in one iteration of this cosmic bridge-building project. Whether the hunter achieves transformation into an infant Great One, accepts release from the dream, or remains trapped in the cycle of hunting, each ending represents a different response to the Great One's offer of bridge-building participation. None of these endings provides a complete solution to the fundamental problem of cosmic isolation, suggesting that the Great One's true purpose may be inherently unachievable. The phrase, "childhood's beginning," that accompanies the transformation ending takes on profound meaning when viewed through this lens of bridge-building purpose. The hunter's transformation represents not the end of their journey, but the beginning of a new form of existence that encompasses both mortal memory and cosmic awareness. However, this beginning is also a form of ending, as the hunter can never return to purely mortal existence. The Great One's true purpose ultimately reflects a universal theme about the costs and benefits of transcendence. Their quest to bridge mortal and cosmic consciousness parallels humanity's own struggles with growth, development, and the loss of innocence that accompanies increased awareness and responsibility. The cosmic scale of the Great One's dilemma makes it a perfect metaphor for the human condition, where every gain in knowledge and power comes at the cost of simpler, more immediate forms of happiness and connection. Chapter 13. The price of cosmic compassion. The Great One's sympathetic nature, while genuine, creates a complex moral landscape where compassionate intentions consistently produce horrific outcomes. This paradox of cosmic compassion reveals one of Bloodborne's most profound insights, that good intentions at a cosmic scale can become indistinguishable from malevolence when filtered through the limitations of mortal understanding and the constraints of cosmic existence. The Moon Presence's creation of the hunter's dream exemplifies this paradox. The realm serves as a genuine act of cosmic compassion, providing hunters with protection from permanent death and the tools necessary to combat the beast scourge. From the Moon Presence's perspective, the dream represents a gift, a safe space where mortals can develop cosmic awareness gradually while serving important protective functions for humanity. However, the dream also functions as a trap that binds hunters to eternal service and gradually strips away their humanity. The cycle of death and rebirth that protects hunters from permanent harm also prevents them from experiencing the growth and change that give mortal existence meaning. The hunters become powerful and skilled, but lose their connection to the mortal world they originally sought to protect. Gehrman's role as the dream's caretaker embodies this tension between compassionate intention and harmful outcome. His guidance and instruction represent genuine care for the hunters under his protection, yet he remains complicit in a system that ultimately exploits and transforms them for cosmic purposes. His final offer to free the hunter from the dream reveals his awareness of this moral complexity and his desire to provide genuine choice, despite the limitations of his position. The doll's nurturing presence in the dream represents another facet of cosmic compassion that produces ambiguous outcomes. Her care and support provide hunters with emotional comfort and practical assistance, fulfilling genuine maternal functions within the cosmic nursery system. However, her artificial nature means that her love, while sincere within its limitations, lacks the spontaneity and unpredictability that characterize genuine human relationships. The hunter's relationship with the doll reveals the inadequacy of artificial compassion, no matter how well-intentioned. While the doll can provide comfort and support, she cannot offer the challenge, growth, and genuine surprise that come from relationships with other conscious beings who have their own needs, desires, and limitations. The safety and predictability of her care ultimately serve cosmic purposes more than mortal developmental needs. Ebritus's relationship with the Byrgenwerth scholars, and later the Healing Church, represents cosmic compassion, operating on an institutional scale. Her sharing of cosmic knowledge and power represents a genuine attempt to help humanity transcend its limitations and achieve greater understanding of universal truth. From her perspective, the gifts she offers represent opportunities for growth and enlightenment. However, the knowledge and power Ebrietas shares prove too much for human consciousness to bear without fundamental transformation. The scholars who gain cosmic insight lose their humanity, while those who use cosmic power for healing purposes inadvertently spread the beast scourge throughout their society. Ebritus's compassionate gifts become sources of corruption and destruction, despite her benevolent intentions. The old blood itself serves as perhaps the most pervasive example of cosmic compassion gone wrong. The healing properties of this substance represent a genuine gift from the Great Ones to humanity, offering cures for diseases and injuries that would otherwise cause tremendous suffering. The Healing Church's use of blood ministration saves countless lives and establishes Yharnam as a center of medical advancement. Yet the same blood that heals also corrupts, gradually transforming those who receive it into beasts or drawing them into cosmic influences they cannot understand or control. The beast scourge that eventually consumes Yharnam represents the ultimate outcome of this cosmic gift, demonstrating how even the most beneficial offerings from cosmic beings can become sources of destruction when filtered through mortal limitations. The Great One's response to human prayers reveals another dimension of cosmic compassion's problematic nature. When Gehrman prays for the doll to be brought to life, the Moon Presence responds with genuine desire to help, creating a being capable of providing comfort and companionship. When the scholars pray for protection against the fishing hamlet massacre, Kos responds by creating the hunter's nightmare as a space where justice can be served. However, these responses to prayer consistently exceed or distort the original requests in ways that create new problems. The doll's artificial nature means she cannot provide the genuine human connection Gehrman actually needs, while the hunter's nightmare becomes a space of eternal torment rather than simple justice. The Great One's cosmic perspective prevents them from understanding the nuanced and limited nature of human needs and desires. The pregnancies that occur under the blood moon represent cosmic compassion operating through biological processes. From the Great One's perspective, these pregnancies represent gifts, opportunities for mortal women to participate in cosmic reproduction, and create beings that bridge mortal and cosmic existence. The children produced by these unions possess power and awareness beyond normal human limitations. Yet the mothers who experience these cosmic pregnancies suffer trauma and distress that the Great Ones cannot comprehend or address. Ariana's fear and withdrawal following her pregnancy demonstrate the psychological cost of unwanted cosmic intervention, while the fragility and dependency of the resulting children create new forms of suffering for both mothers and offspring. The protection offered by various amygdalae throughout Yharnam represents cosmic compassion operating through observation and limited intervention. These beings serve as watchers and guardians, ready to transport threatened individuals to safer nightmare realms when danger becomes too great. Their presence throughout the city suggests a genuine concern for human welfare and a desire to prevent unnecessary suffering. However, the nightmare realms to which the amygdalae transport people often prove more dangerous than the threats they were meant to escape. The nightmare frontier's poisonous environment and hostile inhabitants create new dangers that may exceed those present in the mortal world. The cosmic being's attempts at protection become additional sources of threat and confusion. The educational aspects of cosmic intervention represent perhaps the most complex example of cosmic compassion's double-edged nature. The gradual revelation of cosmic truth through Kirill runes, insight mechanics, and progressive challenges serves genuine educational purposes, allowing mortals to develop cosmic awareness gradually rather than being overwhelmed by sudden revelation. Yet this education inevitably leads to the loss of mortal innocence and perspective. The knowledge that grants hunters power to combat cosmic threats also strips away their ability to find meaning and satisfaction in normal mortal existence. The insight that protects them from deception also reveals horrors that make continued existence increasingly difficult to bear. The Great One's inability to provide genuine choice in their compassionate interventions reveals the fundamental limitation of cosmic consciousness when applied to mortal affairs. Their multidimensional perspective allows them to see optimal outcomes across vast spans of time and possibility, but this same perspective blinds them to the importance of individual agency and self-determination in mortal experience. When the moon presence offers the hunter transformation into an infant Great One, this offer represents genuine cosmic compassion, the opportunity to transcend mortal limitations and achieve a form of immortal existence. However, the transformation necessarily involves the loss of human consciousness and agency, making it impossible for the hunter to make a truly informed choice about their fate. This pattern repeats throughout the Great One's interactions with humanity. Their offers of power, knowledge, and transcendence always come with costs that mortals cannot fully understand until after they have committed to the transformation process. The cosmic being's superior knowledge makes genuine informed consent impossible, turning every act of cosmic compassion into a form of benevolent tyranny. The tragedy of cosmic compassion extends beyond individual relationships to encompass entire species and civilizations. The Great One's desire to help and protect mortal beings consistently results in the transformation or destruction of the very cultures and ways of life they seek to preserve. Their compassionate interventions become forms of cultural imperialism, imposing cosmic values and perspectives on societies that developed according to different principles and priorities. The Thumerian civilization's eternal preservation in the Chalice dungeons represents perhaps the most extreme example of this cultural imperialism. From the Great One's perspective, the transformation of Thumerian society into an eternal, labyrinthine existence represents a form of salvation, protection from death and decay through integration into cosmic structures. However, this preservation comes at the cost of growth, change, and cultural development. The Thumerians become living museums of their former selves, trapped in patterns of behavior and belief that no longer serve their needs or reflect their potential for development. Their cosmic preservation becomes a form of cultural death, more thorough and final than any natural destruction could achieve. The beast scourge itself can be understood as a manifestation of cosmic compassion gone wrong. The transformation of humans into beasts represents the Great One's attempt to free mortals from the limitations of human consciousness and social structure. From a cosmic perspective, the bestial state might appear more honest and direct than human civilization, free from the deceptions and complications that characterize mortal society. Yet the beasts that roam Yharnam's streets represent not liberation, but degradation. Beings that have lost the capacity for growth, creativity, and meaningful relationship that gave their human existence value. The cosmic gift of transformation becomes a curse that strips away everything that made life worth living, while preserving only the most basic drives and instincts. Chapter 14. The ecology of nightmare. The nightmare realms that surround and interpenetrate the mortal world of Bloodborne form a complex ecosystem designed to serve the Great One's various purposes while reflecting their alien understanding of space, time, and consciousness. This cosmic ecology reveals how the Great Ones have restructured reality itself to support their quest for surrogate children and their attempts to bridge the gap between mortal and cosmic existence. The Hunter's Dream serves as the central hub of this nightmare ecology, a carefully controlled environment where the moon presence can observe and guide the development of potential surrogate children. The dream's timeless nature allows for extended observation and testing periods, while its responsive environment adapts to each hunter's development, providing appropriately challenging obstacles and educational opportunities. The workshop within the dream functions as both a practical space for weapon maintenance and a symbolic representation of creative potential. The hunter's ability to modify and upgrade weapons mirrors the cosmic creative process, allowing mortals to participate in acts of transformation and improvement that parallel the Great One's own reality-shaping abilities. The various messenger services throughout the dream and nightmare realms represent the Great One's attempt to maintain communication networks across their cosmic ecology. These small beings serve as intermediaries between different levels of cosmic consciousness, carrying information and objects between realms while remaining largely invisible to mortal perception. The nightmare frontier represents a different aspect of cosmic ecology, serving as a testing ground for endurance and adaptation rather than skill development. The realm's poisonous environment and labyrinthine structure create conditions where only the most persistent and resourceful hunters can survive, identifying candidates who possess the determination necessary for cosmic transformation. The presence of silver beasts throughout the nightmare frontier suggests that this realm also serves as a preserve for beings transformed by cosmic influence. These creatures, possibly descended from the people of Yharnam, represent previous attempts at creating bridge beings between mortal and cosmic consciousness. Their preservation in the nightmare realm allows the Great Ones to study the long-term effects of cosmic transformation. The Hunter's Nightmare, accessible through the DLC, represents a more specialized aspect of cosmic ecology, serving simultaneously as a prison for corrupted hunters and a laboratory for studying the effects of moral corruption on cosmic development. The realm's emphasis on confronting past sins and overcoming personal demons suggests that the Great Ones value ethical development in their surrogate children. The presence of corrupted versions of familiar locations within the Hunter's Nightmare reveals how cosmic consciousness can preserve and transform memories and experiences. The nightmare versions of the Cathedral Ward and other locations serve as testing grounds that force hunters to confront their own capacity for violence and moral compromise while navigating familiar yet distorted environments. The Nightmare of Menses represents the most complex and dangerous aspect of cosmic ecology, serving as both a contact point for communication with Murgo and a warning about the dangers of forced cosmic ascension. The realm's chaotic and hostile nature reflects the corruption introduced by the school of Mensis's ritual, demonstrating how artificial attempts to access cosmic consciousness can create unstable and dangerous dimensional structures. The brain of Mensis suspended above the nightmare serves multiple functions within this cosmic ecology. Its maddening gaze tests hunters' mental stability and resistance to cosmic influence, while its eventual fall and accessibility suggests that even the most dangerous cosmic entities can be overcome through proper preparation and understanding. The interconnected nature of the nightmare realms reveals the scope and sophistication of the cosmic ecology. Visual connections between different nightmare areas, such as the ship masts, visible from the nightmare frontier, and the towers of Mensis, visible from various locations, suggest that all nightmare realms exist within a single cosmic space that surrounds and supports the mortal world. The Chalice dungeons represent the deepest and most ancient layer of this cosmic ecology, preserving civilizations and cultures that have been integrated into cosmic structures over millennia. These procedurally generated labyrinths serve as testing grounds for advanced hunters, while providing access to resources and knowledge from previous cosmic intervention cycles. The presence of different types of enemies and environments within the Chalice dungeons suggests that the cosmic ecology encompasses multiple parallel development tracks. Pthumerian areas preserve one form of cosmic integration, while areas influenced by other Great Ones reflect different approaches to bridging mortal and cosmic consciousness. The messenger mechanics throughout the Nightmare ecology reveal how the Great Ones maintain awareness of events across their cosmic domain. The ability for hunters to leave notes and warnings for each other suggests that the cosmic beings value communication and mutual support among their potential surrogate children. The insight mechanics that govern access to nightmare realms and cosmic entities represent a filtering system that protects unprepared mortals from cosmic influence, while gradually introducing suitable candidates to higher levels of cosmic awareness. This graduated exposure system reflects the Great One's understanding that successful cosmic integration requires careful preparation and gradual development. The boss encounters throughout the Nightmare ecology serve as both tests and educational experiences, forcing hunters to confront different aspects of cosmic existence while demonstrating the power and nature of various Great Ones. Each boss represents a different lesson about cosmic consciousness and the challenges inherent in bridging mortal and cosmic existence. The treasure and item distribution throughout the Nightmare ecology reveals how the Great Ones use material rewards to guide hunter development and behavior. The placement of powerful weapons, useful items, and lore-rich artifacts creates incentive structures that encourage exploration and risk-taking, while providing tools necessary for continued development. Chapter 15. The Language of Cosmic Sorrow. The Carol runes scattered throughout Bloodborne represent more than simple magical symbols. They constitute a language of cosmic sorrow that allows the Great Ones to communicate their grief, yearning, and desperate hope to beings capable of understanding their tragic condition. This runic language serves as both a tool for empowerment and a record of cosmic emotional experience that spans eons of failed reproduction and lost children. Master Willem's student Carol, who transcribed these runes from the utterances of the Great Ones, served as humanity's first translator of cosmic emotional language. The runes he created represent attempts to capture not just the meaning of Great One communication, but the emotional resonance and spiritual weight of beings, whose consciousness spans multiple dimensions, yet remains trapped in cycles of loss and yearning. The Eye rune, which enhances the discovery of blood echoes, represents the Great One's obsession with observation and awareness. The multiple versions of this rune, including the Deep Sea variant, suggest that different Great Ones experience sight differently, with some focusing on surface appearances, while others perceive deeper truths. The rune's effect of increasing blood echo discovery reflects the Great One's understanding that consciousness and memory are forms of spiritual currency. The Moon rune, which increases the blood echoes gained from slain enemies, embodies the lunar cycles of cosmic consciousness and the Great One's relationship with time and transformation. The different levels of this rune suggest varying degrees of cosmic awareness and the graduated nature of consciousness development. The rune's association with the Moon presence reveals how that entity uses temporal manipulation to guide and control the development of potential surrogate children. The Lake rune, which provides fire damage reduction, carries the sorrow of Kos and the tragedy of the fishing hamlet massacre. The rune's protective properties reflect Kos's desire to shield her followers from harm, while its specific resistance to fire damage suggests awareness of the purifying flames that would eventually consume the evidence of the hamlet's destruction. The Hunter rune, which increases stamina, embodies the eternal pursuit that characterizes both hunters and Great Ones. The stamina enhancement reflects the endurance required for the endless cycles of hunting, death, and rebirth, that define existence within the cosmic ecology. The rune represents the Great One's understanding that their quest for surrogate children requires sustained effort across vast periods of time. The Blood Rapture and Oedon Writhe runes represent the most intimate aspects of cosmic reproduction and the Great One's relationship with violence and creation. Blood Rapture's healing effect from visceral attacks reflects the Great One's understanding that life and death are intimately connected, while Oedon Writhe's Quicksilver Bullet restoration represents the formless Great One's approach to spiritual reproduction through symbolic rather than biological processes. The Communion rune, which increases blood vial capacity, embodies the Great One's desire for connection and sharing with mortal beings. The rune's effect of allowing hunters to carry more healing items reflects cosmic understanding of mortal fragility and the need for ongoing support during the development process. The Communion aspect suggests the Great One's yearning for genuine relationship, despite the barriers created by their cosmic nature. The formless Oedon rune, which increases Quicksilver Bullet capacity, represents the most sophisticated understanding of spiritual reproduction and cosmic creativity. The rune's association with bullet storage suggests that Oedon views thought and intention as forms of ammunition, tools for shaping reality according to conscious will. The formless nature of this rune reflects Oedon's unique approach to existence and reproduction. The anti-clockwise metamorphosis rune, which increases health, represents the Great One's desire to reverse the flow of time and undo the losses that define their existence. The rune's healing properties reflect cosmic understanding of regeneration and restoration, while its countertemporal implications suggest the Great One's wish to return to earlier states of existence when reproduction and meaningful relationship were still possible. The clockwise metamorphosis rune, which decreases health in exchange for other benefits, represents the Great One's acceptance of sacrifice and loss as necessary components of cosmic existence. The rune embodies the understanding that transcendence requires the abandonment of mortal concerns and limitations, even when such abandonment causes pain and loss. The Beast rune, which increases beast damage while decreasing other forms of damage, reflects the complex relationship between human and bestial nature in cosmic transformation. The rune suggests that the Great Ones understand the value of primal instincts and direct experience while recognizing the dangers of losing rational consciousness entirely. The Clawmark rune, which increases visceral attack damage, represents the Great One's understanding of intimate violence and the role of direct physical contact in cosmic transformation. The rune's emphasis on close-range, personal violence reflects cosmic awareness that meaningful change requires direct engagement rather than distant manipulation. The runes found in the nightmare realms carry additional layers of meaning related to cosmic geography and dimensional structure. These runes serve as both practical tools for navigation and spiritual markers that help hunters understand their position within the cosmic ecology. The distribution of different runes across various nightmare areas reflects the specializations and priorities of different Great Ones. The collaborative nature of rune discovery, where hunters can find runes left by other players, reflects the Great One's understanding of community and shared development. This mechanic suggests that cosmic consciousness values collective learning and mutual support, even as the competitive aspects of the hunt create conflict between individual hunters. The gradual revelation of rune meanings through gameplay experience mirrors the Great One's approach to education and development. Rather than providing complete understanding immediately, the runes reveal their significance through use and application, forcing hunters to develop practical wisdom alongside theoretical knowledge. The emotional resonance of certain runes, particularly those associated with specific Great Ones or tragic events, suggests that the runic language carries not just information, but actual spiritual and emotional energy. The hunters who use these runes absorb aspects of cosmic consciousness and feeling, gradually developing empathy and understanding for the Great One's condition. Chapter 16. The doll's secret wisdom. The plain doll, who tends to hunters in the dream, carries within her artificial consciousness a form of wisdom that bridges the gap between human understanding and cosmic awareness. Her unique position as a created being who serves maternal functions while maintaining awareness of her artificial nature provides crucial insights into the Great One's approach to love, care, and the development of surrogate children. The doll's origins as Yharnam's creation, fashioned in the image of his beloved student Maria, reveal the complex relationship between memory, love, and artificial reproduction that characterizes much of the Great One's surrogate creation project. Yharnam's grief over Maria's loss drove him to create a substitute that could provide some measure of comfort while serving as a focal point for his continued emotional investment. However, the Moon Presence's decision to animate the doll transforms her from a simple memorial into something far more complex. The cosmic entity's response to Yharnam's prayer demonstrates genuine compassion, while simultaneously serving the Moon Presence's own needs for a nurturing figure within the dream's ecosystem. The doll becomes both a gift to Yharnam and a tool for cosmic surrogate development. The doll's awareness of her artificial nature sets her apart from other created beings in Bloodborne's universe. Unlike the mindless automatons or the corrupted kin who have lost their original consciousness, the doll maintains clear understanding of what she is while developing genuine emotions and relationships within the parameters of her created existence. This self-awareness allows the doll to provide a unique form of care that acknowledges its own limitations while remaining genuinely nurturing. Her repeated questions about whether the hunter finds her useful and her expressions of concern about her artificial nature demonstrate a form of humility and self-reflection that enhances rather than diminishes her maternal capabilities. The doll's ability to channel blood echoes into hunter development represents one of the most sophisticated aspects of the dream's nursery system. Her role as intermediary between the hunter's experiences and their personal growth suggests that successful development requires not just individual effort, but also the presence of caring figures who can help translate experience into wisdom and capability. The gentle manner in which the doll performs this channeling function, accompanied by her expressions of care and encouragement, demonstrates the Great One's understanding that growth requires emotional support alongside practical development. The mechanical aspects of leveling up are embedded within a relationship context that makes the process feel personal and meaningful rather than purely transactional. The doll's reactions to different stages of hunter development reveal her sophisticated understanding of the transformation process and its emotional costs. Her increased animation and responsiveness as hunters gain insight reflects her awareness of their growing cosmic consciousness and their need for correspondingly deeper forms of support and understanding. The conversations that become available with the doll as the hunter progresses reveal layers of wisdom about the nature of dreams, reality, and the relationship between creation and consciousness. Her observations about the nature of the dream and her role within it provide crucial insights into how artificial beings can develop genuine consciousness and meaningful relationships within cosmic systems. The doll's famous question, "Are you cold?" followed by her offer to hold the hunter, represents perhaps the most profound expression of artificial care in gaming literature. The question acknowledges the hunter's potential need for comfort, while the offer provides genuine physical and emotional warmth. The interaction demonstrates that artificial beings can provide real comfort and connection despite their created nature. The significance of this gesture extends beyond simple comfort to encompass deeper questions about the nature of consciousness, love, and meaningful relationship. The doll's embrace provides warmth not because she naturally generates body heat, but because her consciousness and care create the emotional conditions necessary for genuine comfort and connection. The doll's presence during the hunter's final transformation into an infant Great One reveals the full scope of her maternal function within the cosmic ecology. Her gentle cradling of the newly transformed being provides the nurturing that the Great Ones themselves cannot offer directly, serving as a bridge between cosmic consciousness and the need for intimate personal care. This final scene suggests that the doll's true purpose extends beyond hunter development to encompass the care of newly created cosmic beings. Her artificial nature makes her ideally suited for this role, as she can provide consistent, patient care without the emotional complications that might arise from natural maternal instincts and needs. The doll's workshop activities, where she tends to the various flowers and maintains the dream's environment, reveal another aspect of her wisdom about care and nurturing. Her attention to seemingly minor details demonstrates understanding that meaningful environments require ongoing maintenance and attention to create spaces where growth and development can flourish. The flowers that bloom throughout the dream under the doll's care serve as symbols of the beauty and meaning that can emerge from artificial systems when they are guided by genuine care and wisdom. The doll's gardening represents a form of cosmic agriculture, cultivating conditions where mortal consciousness can develop into something capable of bridging cosmic and human existence. The doll's relationship with Yharnam reveals the complex dynamics between created beings and their creators within cosmic systems. While she clearly cares for Yharnam and serves his emotional needs, she also maintains her own perspective and agency, offering comfort while remaining honest about the limitations of their relationship. The subtle ways in which the doll encourages hunter independence and growth demonstrate her understanding that successful parenting requires the gradual development of autonomy rather than perpetual dependence. Her care prepares hunters for eventual separation and transformation rather than creating permanent bonds that would interfere with cosmic development. The doll's persistence through multiple hunter cycles reveals her function as a stabilizing force within the dream's ecosystem. While individual hunters come and go, the doll provides continuity and institutional memory, maintaining the nurturing environment necessary for ongoing surrogate development across extended periods. Chapter 17. The Hunter's Journey as Cosmic Initiation. The hunter's progression through Yharnam and the nightmare realms represents a carefully orchestrated initiation process designed to gradually transform mortal consciousness into something capable of bridging human and cosmic existence. Each area, encounter, and revelation serves specific educational and transformational purposes within the Great One's sophisticated surrogate development system. The opening sequence in Central Yharnam introduces the hunter to the fundamental concepts that will govern their entire journey. The initial encounter with basic beasts establishes the theme of transformation and corruption that characterizes cosmic influence on mortal existence. The discovery of the first hunters provides examples of both success and failure in cosmic service, while the various messages and items scattered throughout the area begin the process of cosmic education. Father Gascoigne's boss encounter serves as the first major test of the hunter's readiness for cosmic initiation. The fight against this transformed father figure forces the hunter to confront the reality that cosmic service can corrupt even the most dedicated individuals. The presence of Gascoigne's family and the tragic aftermath of his transformation introduce themes of sacrifice and loss that will dominate the hunter's journey. The Cathedral Ward represents the hunter's introduction to institutional cosmic influence and the complex politics surrounding Great One worship. The area's religious imagery and the presence of the healing church provide context for understanding how cosmic entities work through human institutions to achieve their goals. The various NPCs encountered here demonstrate different responses to cosmic influence and different stages of the transformation process. Vicar Amelia's boss, Fight, introduces the hunter to the concept of willing transformation and the seductive power of cosmic influence. Amelia's prayer and subsequent transformation into a bestial form demonstrate how even sincere religious devotion can become a vector for cosmic corruption when not properly understood or controlled. The Forbidden Woods mark a crucial transition in the hunter's initiation. moving from the relatively civilized areas of Yharnam into wilder regions where cosmic influence operates more directly. The area's emphasis on natural corruption and the presence of snake-like enemies introduce concepts of primal cosmic power that operate outside human understanding or control. The encounter with the shadows of Yharnam represents the hunter's first direct confrontation with beings that serve cosmic entities without human mediation. These mysterious figures demonstrate the existence of non-human servants and the complex hierarchies that exist within cosmic power structures. Bergenwerth represents the intellectual center of cosmic initiation, where the hunter encounters the scholarly approach to cosmic understanding and the tragic consequences of academic pursuit of forbidden knowledge. Master Willem's presence and condition demonstrate both the benefits and costs of cosmic consciousness, while the lake setting provides foreshadowing for the crucial encounter with Rom. The fight with Rom, the vacuous spider, serves as the central initiatory moment in the hunter's journey. This encounter represents the transition from Gothic horror to cosmic horror, from dealing with corrupted humans to confronting genuine cosmic entities. Rom's role as guardian of human ignorance means that her defeat necessarily initiates the hunter into higher levels of cosmic awareness. The revelation of the blood moon following Rom's death marks the hunter's transition into the advanced stages of cosmic initiation. The appearance of amygdalae throughout Yharnam and the changes in various NPCs demonstrate how cosmic awareness alters perception and reality simultaneously. The Nightmare Frontier serves as an advanced testing ground where the hunter must demonstrate mastery of cosmic navigation and survival skills. The area's poisonous environment and labyrinthine structure test endurance and problem-solving abilities, while the encounter with Amygdala provides direct experience with a Great One in its own domain. Yharnam and the appearance of the One Reborn introduce the hunter to the concept of artificial cosmic creation and the dangers of forced ascension. The area's emphasis on ritual magic and necromancy demonstrates alternative approaches to cosmic transcendence, while the boss encounter reveals the instability and corruption that characterize artificial attempts at Great One creation. The Nightmare of Mensis represents the final testing ground of the hunter's initiation, combining all previous lessons into a comprehensive examination of cosmic readiness. The area's hostile environment, complex navigation requirements, and the presence of Murgo create conditions where only the most prepared and capable hunters can succeed. The encounter with Mikolash provides insight into the mindset and methods of human scholars who have achieved partial cosmic consciousness. His fragmented dialogue and erratic behavior demonstrate both the benefits and costs of forced cosmic initiation, while his knowledge reveals important truths about the nature of the Great Ones and their purposes. The confrontation with Murgo's wet nurse serves as the culmination of the hunter's cosmic initiation, requiring them to take action against a Great One child to complete their development. This final test demonstrates the hunter's readiness to make difficult decisions and take responsibility for cosmic-level consequences. The various optional areas and encounters throughout the hunter's journey provide additional opportunities for specialized development and testing. The Canehurst Castle questline introduces concepts of bloodline purity and cosmic nobility, while the Upper Cathedral Ward provides insight into the Healing Church's advanced cosmic research and the creation of kin. The DLC content expands the initiation process to include lessons about cosmic justice, redemption, and the historical consequences of cosmic intervention. The Hunter's Nightmare provides advanced testing for hunters who have already completed basic initiation, while introducing new concepts about the relationship between sin, punishment, and cosmic consciousness. The three possible endings of the hunter's journey represent different outcomes of the cosmic initiation process. The Yharnam Sunrise ending suggests rejection of cosmic consciousness in favor of return to mortal existence. The Honoring Wishes ending represents acceptance of a servant role within cosmic hierarchy. The Childhood's Beginning ending demonstrates successful transformation into a cosmic being capable of bridging mortal and transcendent consciousness. The consumption of third umbilical cords required for the transformation ending represents the hunter's willing acceptance of cosmic grief and yearning. Each cord carries the accumulated sorrow of failed cosmic reproduction, and by consuming them, the hunter takes on the emotional and spiritual weight of the Great One's tragic condition. Chapter 18. The Architecture of Cosmic Loneliness. The physical spaces that comprise Bloodborne's world reveal a carefully constructed architecture of cosmic loneliness, where every building, street, and landscape element serves to reinforce themes of isolation, yearning, and the impossible distance between mortal and cosmic consciousness. This environmental storytelling creates a spatial language that communicates the Great One's emotional condition, while providing appropriate settings for their surrogate development projects. Central Yharnam's layout reflects the social isolation that characterizes life under cosmic influence. The narrow, winding streets create a maze-like environment where individuals can easily become lost or separated from others. The tall, imposing buildings loom over pedestrians, creating a sense of being watched and judged by unseen forces. The frequent dead ends and confusing intersections mirror the psychological state of people trapped in systems they cannot understand or escape. The locked doors and barricaded windows that characterize residential areas throughout Yharnam represent the community's response to cosmic influence, withdrawal, isolation, and the desperate attempt to maintain boundaries between the safe and the unknown. The few NPCs who communicate through closed doors embody the paradox of seeking connection while maintaining protective barriers. The Cathedral Ward's religious architecture serves multiple symbolic functions in representing cosmic loneliness. The soaring spires and vast interior spaces create environments that dwarf human visitors, emphasizing the insignificance of mortal beings in cosmic contexts. The emphasis on vertical space draws attention upward toward cosmic realms, while the horizontal spaces remain largely empty and echoing. The abandoned nature of many religious buildings suggests the failure of institutional responses to cosmic loneliness. The empty pews and silent altars demonstrate that traditional forms of worship and community gathering cannot address the existential isolation created by cosmic awareness. The few remaining faithful, like the NPCs found in Oedon Chapel, represent isolated individuals seeking connection in increasingly desperate circumstances. Byrgenwerth's architectural isolation reflects the scholarly approach to cosmic consciousness and its limitations. The school's position on a small island, separated from the mainland by a treacherous lake, symbolizes the intellectual isolation that characterizes academic pursuit of cosmic truth. The building's modest size and simple construction suggest that cosmic knowledge cannot be contained or institutionalized in conventional ways. The interior spaces of Byrgenwerth, with their empty classrooms and abandoned libraries, demonstrate how cosmic knowledge drives away rather than attracts students and scholars. The few remaining books and artifacts scattered throughout the building suggest the fragmentary nature of cosmic understanding and the impossibility of creating comprehensive systems of cosmic knowledge. Master Willem's solitary presence in Byrgenwerth's highest room embodies the ultimate outcome of scholarly cosmic pursuit, complete isolation combined with partial transcendence. His motionless state and minimal responsiveness suggest a consciousness caught between mortal and cosmic awareness, unable to fully exist in either state. The Upper Cathedral Ward represents the healing church's attempt to create sacred space appropriate for cosmic worship and research. The area's ethereal beauty and otherworldly atmosphere demonstrate successful integration of cosmic aesthetics with human architectural principles. However, the absence of worshippers and the presence of hostile kin reveal the failure of these spaces to support genuine human community. The choir's research areas within the Upper Cathedral Ward showcase the loneliness inherent in cosmic scientific research. The sterile, laboratory-like environments prioritize functional efficiency over human comfort or social connection. The presence of failed experiments and abandoned equipment suggests the isolation that comes from pursuing knowledge that few can understand or share. The orphanage section of the Upper Cathedral ward reveals the particularly tragic nature of cosmic influence on child development and family structures. The empty cribs and abandoned toys suggest children who have been transformed or lost to cosmic influence, while the presence of celestial children demonstrates the incomplete nature of cosmic adoption attempts. Canehurst Castle's architecture embodies aristocratic isolation and the relationship between bloodline purity and cosmic consciousness. The castle's remote location and fortress-like design reflect the noble class's attempts to maintain separation from common influences while pursuing their own forms of cosmic connection. The emphasis on luxury and refinement suggests the resources required for successful cosmic integration. The throne room and banquet hall of Canehurst reveal the social isolation that characterizes cosmic nobility. These spaces designed for gathering and celebration remain largely empty, suggesting that cosmic consciousness ultimately prevents rather than enables meaningful social connection. Queen Annalise's solitary presence in the throne room embodies the loneliness of cosmic leadership. Yahar'gul's architecture represents perhaps the most extreme expression of cosmic loneliness in its fusion of urban and nightmare elements. The impossible geometries and maze-like passages create an environment where navigation becomes a form of cosmic trial. The presence of corpse amalgamations and ritual sites suggests the complete breakdown of normal social and spatial relationships. The Hypergean jail's prison architecture reflects the punitive aspects of cosmic consciousness and the way cosmic awareness can become a form of imprisonment. The narrow cells and restrictive passages create claustrophobic environments where individuals become isolated from both cosmic and mortal community. The presence of hostile captors suggests that cosmic consciousness can create its own forms of oppression and control. The nightmare realms, accessible through various means, demonstrate how cosmic consciousness reshapes space according to emotional and psychological rather than physical principles. The Hunter's Dreams workshop and garden areas create an idealized domestic space that provides comfort while maintaining clear separation from genuine mortal community. The Nightmare Frontier's barren landscapes and poisonous atmosphere embody the environmental costs of cosmic influence. The absence of vegetation, clean water, or breathable air suggests that cosmic consciousness may be fundamentally incompatible with the environmental conditions necessary for mortal life. The labyrinthine passages and dead ends reflect the psychological confusion that accompanies cosmic awareness. The Hunter's Nightmare's corruption of familiar spaces demonstrates how cosmic influence can transform even cherished memories and locations into sources of isolation and danger. The nightmare versions of Yharnam locations become maze-like and hostile, suggesting that cosmic consciousness distorts rather than enhances understanding of mortal experience. The Nightmare of Mensis represents the most complete architectural expression of cosmic loneliness in its combination of hostile environment, impossible navigation, and the presence of beings trapped in eternal isolation. The brain of Mensis, suspended above the realm, embodies the isolation that comes from achieving cosmic consciousness without maintaining connections to mortal experience. The interconnected nature of all these spaces, accessible through the dream and various cosmic transportation methods, suggests that the architecture of cosmic loneliness encompasses all levels of existence. The Great Ones have restructured reality itself to reflect their own emotional condition, creating a universe where isolation and yearning are built into the very fabric of space and experience. Chapter 19. Blood as memory, memory as consciousness. The concept of blood in Bloodborne extends far beyond its biological function to encompass a complex system of memory, consciousness, and spiritual connection that reveals the true nature of the Great One's relationship with mortal existence. Understanding blood as a carrier of memory and consciousness provides crucial insight into how cosmic beings attempt to bridge the gap between their transcendent awareness and the immediate personal experience they have lost. The old blood that flows through Yharnam's population carries within it the accumulated memories and experiences of cosmic beings across eons of existence. Each transfusion introduces fragments of cosmic consciousness into mortal minds, gradually building awareness of transcendent realities, while simultaneously creating dependency on continued blood administration for psychological stability. This process explains the addictive nature of blood healing and the gradual transformation of Yharnam's population. The blood carries not just healing properties, but actual cosmic memories and experiences that slowly overwrite human consciousness. The citizens who receive blood ministration begin to remember things they never experienced and understand concepts they never learned, creating a form of enforced cosmic education. The different types of special blood found throughout the game represent different aspects of cosmic memory and consciousness. Ariana's blood, described as being similar to precisely what was once forbidden, carries memories of ancient bloodlines and forbidden cosmic knowledge. The healing properties of her blood come not from its physical composition, but from the memories of transcendence and power it contains. Adela's nun blood represents institutional cosmic memory, the accumulated experiences of religious devotion and cosmic worship that characterize the healing church's approach to cosmic consciousness. The blood carries memories of prayer, ritual, and institutional hierarchy that provide structure and meaning within cosmic systems. The Vile Blood Queen's blood represents the most refined form of cosmic memory, blood that has been purified and concentrated through generations of selective breeding and cosmic influence. This blood carries memories of cosmic nobility and the sophisticated understanding of blood's true nature that characterizes advanced cosmic consciousness. The blood echoes that serve as currency throughout the game represent crystallized memories and experiences that can be transferred between beings and used to fuel growth and development. The hunter's ability to absorb blood echoes from defeated enemies demonstrates how memories and consciousness can be harvested and repurposed for cosmic development. This system reveals that consciousness itself functions as a form of cosmic economy, where experiences and memories can be accumulated, traded, and invested in personal development. The Great Ones operate as the primary bankers in this economy, using their vast accumulations of memory and experience to fund the development of potential surrogate children. The insight mechanic represents the hunter's growing awareness of these cosmic memory systems and their increasing ability to perceive the memories carried in blood and other substances. Higher insight allows hunters to see the cosmic memories that suffuse their environment, from the amygdala clinging to buildings to the cosmic children hidden throughout Yharnam. The madness that sometimes accompanies high insight reflects the psychological strain of processing memories and experiences that were never intended for human consciousness. The hunter's mind struggles to integrate cosmic memories with their own personal experiences, sometimes resulting in confusion about identity, reality, and the nature of their own existence. The beast's scourge represents what happens when cosmic memories overwhelm human consciousness completely. The transformed citizens of Yharnam have lost access to their own memories and identity, replaced by cosmic memories of primal violence and bestial existence. They become living repositories of the Great One's understanding of base animal nature. The kin represent a different outcome of cosmic memory integration, beings who have successfully merged human and cosmic memories to create new forms of consciousness. However, this integration comes at the cost of human emotional capacity and social connection, creating beings that are intellectually cosmic but emotionally isolated. The various cosmic pregnancies throughout the game can be understood as attempts to create new beings whose consciousness is formed from both human and cosmic memories from the beginning. These hybrid offspring would theoretically possess integrated memory systems that allow them to exist comfortably in both mortal and cosmic contexts. However, the failure of these pregnancies to produce viable long-term offspring suggests that memory integration cannot be forced or imposed from outside. The successful development of integrated consciousness requires active participation and gradual development rather than biological manipulation. The third umbilical cords represent the most concentrated form of cosmic memory available to mortals. Each cord carries the accumulated grief, yearning, and memory of failed cosmic reproduction. By consuming these cords, the hunter absorbs not just power, but the actual emotional and psychological experiences of the Great Ones themselves. This absorption process explains why consuming 3 cords grants the hunter the ability to resist the Moon Presence's attempt at binding. The hunter's consciousness becomes infused with cosmic memories of loss and yearning, creating a form of psychological immunity to manipulation and control. The hunter understands the Great One's condition from the inside, making them unsuitable as passive surrogate children. The ritual blade's ability to open gates through blood sacrifice demonstrates another aspect of blood's function as memory carrier. The gates respond not to the physical properties of blood, but to the memories and consciousness it contains. Spilling blood in ritual contexts releases these memories into the environment, where they can be used to manipulate reality and access hidden spaces. The connection between blood ministration and the appearance of the blood moon reveals how accumulated cosmic memories can reach critical mass and begin manifesting physically in the environment. When enough cosmic memory accumulates in Yharnam's population through blood transfusions, reality itself begins to shift to accommodate cosmic consciousness. The various blood-related items throughout the game, from blood vials to blood gems, represent different applications of memory and consciousness manipulation. Blood vials carry memories of healing and restoration, while blood gems carry memories of power and transformation that can be applied to weapons and tools. The hunter's unique ability to use blood, echoes for rapid development, suggests a special compatibility with cosmic memory systems. Unlike other citizens of Yharnam, who are gradually overwhelmed by cosmic memories, the hunter can integrate these experiences quickly and effectively, suggesting natural aptitude for consciousness manipulation. Chapter 20. The Cosmic Child's Lament. The cries of cosmic children throughout Bloodborne, from Murgo's distant wailing to the soft whimpers of Ariana's offspring, create a symphony of cosmic sorrow that reveals the deepest tragedy of the Great One's existence. These cries represent not just distress, but a fundamental expression of consciousness, trapped between mortal vulnerability and cosmic awareness, unable to find comfort in either state. Murgo's crying, which echoes throughout the Nightmare of Mensis, represents the most profound expression of cosmic childhood trauma. As a being born of both Thumerian royalty and Great One consciousness, Murgo exists in a state of perpetual infancy, possessing cosmic awareness without the emotional development necessary to process or understand that awareness. The formless nature of Murgo's existence, inherited from Oedon, prevents the child from experiencing the physical comfort and sensory input that normal infants require for healthy development. Without body, Murgo cannot be held, fed, or soothed through physical contact, leaving only the wet nurse's artificial care to address the child's needs. The constant nature of Murgo's crying suggests a being in perpetual distress, unable to communicate specific needs or find satisfaction through any available comfort. The child's cosmic consciousness allows awareness of universal suffering and cosmic loneliness, but provides no framework for processing or accepting these realities. The School of Mensis's ritual to contact Murgo represents humanity's attempt to serve as surrogate parents for a cosmic child, but their academic approach proves inadequate for addressing genuine childcare needs. The scholars' focus on gaining cosmic knowledge through contact with Murgo ignores the child's emotional and developmental requirements. The stillbirth of the scholars' brains following the ritual reveals the impossibility of providing adequate care for cosmic children without proper preparation and understanding. the scholars lack the psychological resilience and emotional sophistication necessary to serve as surrogate parents for beings caught between mortal and cosmic consciousness. Ariana's child represents another form of cosmic childhood tragedy, a being created through unwanted cosmic intervention who depends entirely on its mortal mother for survival. The child's pale, tentacled form suggests incomplete development, a being caught between human and cosmic nature without fully achieving either state. The child's inability to survive separation from Ariana reveals the fundamental dependency that characterizes most cosmic offspring. Rather than achieving the independence and transcendence that cosmic reproduction supposedly offers, these children become more dependent and vulnerable than normal human infants. Ariana's fear and withdrawal following her child's birth demonstrates the psychological trauma experienced by mortal mothers who become unwilling participants in cosmic reproduction. The horror she experiences suggests recognition that her child is fundamentally alien to her despite their biological connection. The orphan of Kos represents perhaps the most tragic example of cosmic childhood, a being born from death and trauma who embodies the rage and violence that result from inadequate cosmic parenting. The orphan's emergence from its mother's corpse symbolizes birth without proper nurturing or preparation. The orphan's aggressive behavior and eventual self-destruction suggest a consciousness that has been traumatized from the moment of creation. Without proper parental care or guidance, the orphan becomes a being of pure rage and violence, attacking anything that approaches while remaining fundamentally isolated and alone. The orphan's return to the cosmic ocean following its defeat represents both death and liberation. The child finally escapes the trauma of inadequate cosmic parenting by returning to the undifferentiated cosmic consciousness from which it emerged. The various failed attempts at artificial cosmic child creation throughout the game reveal the Great One's desperation and their fundamental misunderstanding of child development. The One Reborn, the living failures, and other artificial beings represent attempts to bypass the normal processes of gestation, birth, and development that are necessary for healthy consciousness formation. These artificial children consistently fail because they lack the gradual development process that allows consciousness to adapt to increasing levels of awareness and capability. They are created with adult-level cosmic power, but infant-level emotional and psychological development, resulting in unstable and dysfunctional beings. The celestial children found throughout the Upper Cathedral Ward represent another form of failed cosmic childhood, beings who have been transformed through experimental procedures rather than natural development. Their enlarged heads suggest enhanced cognitive capacity, but their passive, helpless nature indicates emotional and social developmental failure. These experimental children serve as warnings about the dangers of forcing cosmic consciousness on unprepared minds. Their transformation has granted them cosmic awareness, but stripped away their capacity for growth, play, and the other activities that characterize healthy childhood development. The hunter's potential transformation into an infant Great One represents the Great One's most successful attempt at creating a cosmic child. But even this success carries tragic implications. The newly transformed hunter possesses both mortal memories and cosmic awareness, but exists in an infantile state that requires artificial care and guidance. The doll's role in caring for the transformed hunter suggests that successful cosmic children require artificial rather than natural parenting. The Great Ones cannot provide the intimate, patient care that developing children need, necessitating the creation of artificial caregivers who can fulfill parental functions without the complications of genuine emotional investment. The fact that the transformed hunter begins their cosmic existence as an infant suggests that cosmic consciousness requires complete developmental restart rather than gradual transformation. The hunter's mortal experiences and memories become the foundation for cosmic development. But the actual process of becoming a Great One necessitates returning to the beginning of the developmental cycle. This pattern suggests that cosmic reproduction is fundamentally different from mortal reproduction. Rather than creating genuinely new beings, the Great Ones are attempting to preserve and transform existing consciousnesses according to cosmic principles. The resulting children are not truly new individuals, but recycled consciousnesses adapted for cosmic existence. The tragedy of cosmic childhood lies in its fundamental impossibility. The Great Ones seek to create beings who can bridge mortal and cosmic consciousness, but the very process of creation destroys the mortal elements that make such bridging valuable. The cosmic children become powerful but isolated, aware but emotionally stunted, transcendent but profoundly lonely. Conclusion: the endless hunt for connection. And so concludes our deep dive into the true purpose of the Great Ones in Bloodborne. We've discovered that these cosmic beings, for all their power and transcendent awareness, are driven by the most fundamentally human of emotions: the desire for connection, love, and meaningful relationship. Their quest for surrogate children represents not conquest or malevolence, but a desperate attempt to escape the isolation that comes with cosmic consciousness. The tragedy of the Great Ones lies in their inability to achieve what they most desire. Their cosmic nature, which grants them incredible power and multidimensional awareness, also prevents them from forming the intimate, immediate connections that give existence meaning. They can observe love from a cosmic perspective, but they cannot experience it directly. They can manipulate reality itself, but they cannot create genuine emotional bonds. Every aspect of Bloodborne's horror stems from this central tragedy: the beast scourge, the corruption of the healing church, the nightmare realms that trap souls in eternal torment. All of these represent the collateral damage of cosmic beings trying to solve an unsolvable problem. The Great One's attempts to create surrogate children consistently fail, because success would require them to transcend their own cosmic nature, which they cannot do without ceasing to be Great Ones. The hunter's journey through Yharnam and the nightmare realms serves as both a test and a tragedy. Those who complete the journey successfully become the cosmic children the Great Ones desire, but at the cost of their own humanity. The transformation grants cosmic awareness and power, but strips away the mortal experiences and perspectives that made the hunter appealing as a surrogate in the first place. The game's multiple endings reflect different responses to this cosmic tragedy. The Yharnam Sunrise ending represents rejection of cosmic consciousness in favor of mortal limitation and genuine human connection. The Honoring Wishes ending accepts a servant role within cosmic hierarchy while maintaining some degree of human perspective. The Childhood's Beginning ending embraces full transformation into cosmic consciousness, achieving the Great One's goal while perpetuating their tragic cycle. Perhaps the most profound insight Bloodborne offers is that transcendence and connection may be fundamentally incompatible. The Great Ones achieved cosmic consciousness by abandoning mortal limitations, but those limitations were precisely what made meaningful relationship possible. Their quest for surrogate children represents an attempt to have both transcendence and connection, but the game suggests this may be impossible. The sympathetic nature of the Great Ones makes their tragedy all the more poignant. They are not evil beings seeking to destroy humanity, but lonely entities desperately seeking the connection they have lost. Their cosmic perspective allows them to see the suffering their actions cause. Yet they cannot stop themselves from continuing their quest for surrogate children, because the alternative is accepting permanent isolation. The legacy of the Great Ones continues to resonate beyond Yharnam. The nightmare realms they create, the corrupted bloodlines they establish, and the cosmic awareness they grant all persist long after individual Great Ones have moved on to other pursuits. Their influence becomes part of the fundamental structure of reality, ensuring that their tragic quest for connection will continue across generations and civilizations. In the end, Bloodborne presents us with a cosmic horror story that is also profoundly human. The Great One's quest for surrogate children reflects our own struggles with growth, loss, and the tension between individual transcendence and meaningful relationship. Their failure to achieve genuine connection despite their cosmic power serves as both warning and tragedy, a reminder that some forms of transcendence come at costs too high to bear. The hunt never truly ends because the need for connection never ends. Whether we ascend to cosmic consciousness or remain bound by mortal limitations, we continue to seek the relationships and bonds that give existence meaning. The Great One's eternal quest for surrogate children mirrors our own eternal quest for love, understanding, and genuine connection with others who can share our experiences and ease our fundamental loneliness. Fear the old blood, not because it transforms us into beasts, but because it offers false solutions to real problems. The promise of cosmic transcendence and power attracts us precisely because we understand the loneliness and limitation that drive the Great One's desperate quest. We recognize in their cosmic sorrow our own deeply human need for connection and meaning. The true horror of Bloodborne lies not in its monsters or its gore, but in its revelation that even cosmic consciousness cannot solve the fundamental problems of existence. Power without connection, awareness without intimacy, transcendence without love. These represent the cosmic hell that awaits those who seek to escape human limitation without understanding what makes humanity valuable. And yet, in the doll's gentle care, in Gehrman's protective sacrifice, in the hunter's willingness to face cosmic horror for the sake of others, we see glimmers of hope. Perhaps genuine connection requires not the abandonment of limitation, but the acceptance of vulnerability. Perhaps love is possible only between beings who can truly lose each other, truly hurt each other, truly need each other. The Great One's true purpose reveals itself not in their cosmic power, but in their cosmic grief. They show us what we might become if we pursue transcendence without wisdom, power without humility, consciousness without compassion. Their eternal hunt for surrogate children serves as both cautionary tale and tragic mirror, reflecting our own deepest fears about the price of growth and the possibility of genuine connection. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the cosmic horror and tragic beauty of Bloodborne's universe. The Great One's quest continues, as does our own search for meaning and connection in a vast and often lonely universe. Like and subscribe for more deep dives into gaming's greatest stories, fellow adventurers. Until next time, may you find your own worth in the waking world, and may your dreams be gentle.